was full of quesadilla. My apologies. Man, yummy. And banana pudding. Oh, good. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the show. Woo. Sorry, I literally just about choked on everything I was trying to drink. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the show. Appreciate you guys all being here. Welcome in. Talking Track is live. We are Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. Welcome you guys in. Appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Lost In, for the big old raid. I know. Dude, those last couple of hours right there, I feel like this poor guy, he wanted nothing to do with any of us. Nothing. That poor guy just wanted to go to sleep. I know it. I feel terrible. I mean, I don't feel terrible, but I do feel terrible just because I've been on the other side of it. Man, what a trooper. What a trooper. And he kept going. He kept going. You guys are terrible friends. I know I had absolutely nothing to do with that last hour either. You guys are terrible friends. Good evening, everybody. Appreciate you guys all being here. Welcome into the show. No, that was not me. I had nothing to do with it. Talking Track, server sound off. You guys go ahead and punch it up. Where are we hailing from here tonight? Noon Whistle kicking us off on server 29. Thank you very, very much. Enterprise on server 30. What's going on? Appreciate it. LASIK on 702. Tarpy on server 30. What's going on? Countdown on 89. Austis on server 34. Thank you very much for being here. Countdown. I think I just read Countdown's 89. Tony Pye on 86. D Camel on 188. John Drill on 32. J Babes on 13. Pirate King on 701. Strider on 30. Thank you. Your Way also on 30. Benny Hill on 42. Cha-Cha Rar on 156. Floyd on 21. Dave Hart on server 74. Sethan on 86. Kinslayer 44. Bacon on 36. Zach on 84. Jesus on 34. Swag also on 34. AZN on server 3. Wait, is that real? No. Is server 3 a real thing? Never heard of server 3. I think you missed a character. Is it 30? Is it 33? Is it 13? 23? 53? 703? Maybe one of those. Good evening, everybody. Appreciate it. Robert, what's going on server 42? Welcome into our YouTube audience. What's going on over there, guys? What's up? Thank you guys so very much for being here. My name is UltimatDJz. I appreciate you guys all being here, welcoming in our panel tonight. Matters is here. Karkin is here. Tarpy will be joining us shortly. Griffin still has no internet. Poor guy. Oh, no. Oh, no, still has no internet. But he actually decided to take the opportunity of being unplugged and decided to take the family out of town. So I think he's gone. He just decided, he was like, you know what, we can't survive here at the house with no internet, so we're gonna bounce. So he decided to do a little bit of traveling. I think his kid is also on. Is this spring break for some students? I think this might be spring break for some students in some areas. Oliver is off tomorrow and then Monday and Tuesday, but he didn't get like a full week of spring break. So I was kind of surprised about that. I wasn't, but he also had a lot of snow days. So anyway, let's see. Okay, sorry, had to send a quick text. Anyway, good evening. Benny Hill said, DJs, did I hear correctly from Lost In to skip the sphere? Boy, you guys jumping right in tonight. We're going to talk about that tonight, Benny Hill, because I think that it is skippable for some players. I think that it is not skippable for others. I think it depends on what your goals are. We're actually going to talk about identifying those goals tonight because they're not super obvious, right? We're going to talk about what items exist of value in this store, in this Maverick faction store, and we're going to give an opportunity to you guys to talk about that. We'll even open up call-ins a little bit later in the show, and we'll see. Newton says, I did buy it, and a pack. 2-for-1 Revenge says, on the other hand, I'm skipping it. I did kind of a combination, Newton. I would have bought it. I got it, but I also still spent on upgrading it. So I think that I see some value there, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Tony Pye says, you guys are kicking off a hype train, and indeed you are. Thank you. Let me say a couple of thank yous while we're here at the beginning of our podcast. Omega, thank you. Lord Iscarin for the stream streaks. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Lost Soul, 24 months. Happy 2-year anniversary with your resub. Thank you. Guys, look at this. Manxman hitting a 125 stream streak. That's incredible. Cobra Geist with a 90 stream streak. Jesus, 17 months on the resub. Thank you. Curly Bracket with the 10 stream streak. Thank you. Dave Hart, 65 streams. Fun Daddy, 15. Clark, 75 stream streak. J-Babes with 15. Hem Jadar, thank you for the follow. Divine, thank you. Lost In, appreciate you for the raid. Martok with the 15 stream streak. Thank you guys so very much. Appreciate all of you guys. That is absolutely incredible. Silvertab says, I think I'm going to skip. I'm going to start to acquire it after I get the building to level 20. And you know, that is actually pretty good advice, Silvertab. That was actually something that Jules and I identified on day one. I do think that dive bar level 20 has to be the first priority. So that was something that we had talked about on Tuesday's podcast, the Talking in Cars with DJ's episode, and we're going to get back in and reinforce some of that here now that we've had a day or two to flesh it out and see how that is working for some players and what items actually exist of value. Because here's the number one thing. Tarpy and I had a long conversation about this. We do sit on different sides of this, and I'm going to love Tarpy's finishing up dinner because we spent a lot of time with Lost In here just a little bit ago. As a matter of fact, you're right. I do, in fact, have a quick teaser for today's show. Would you guys like to hear it? Would you guys like to hear the teaser we've got for today's show here? Allow me to pop this up for you guys, and I'll let you know what we've got going on. Ladies and gentlemen, straight off of a 30-hour continuous stream. He didn't even take a break to sleep. A 30-hour stream comes our dear friend and friend of the community, Lost in 73. And that button just broke for some reason. Why did that button break? Oh, because, wait, what did I do? Is it here? No. Nope, not there. That's not it.
You and button.
Dude, what happened to my button? I know I saved that button. I called it Lost In. I even know where the file is set. It's fine. I'll fix it. It's not.
You lost the lost.
I lost the lost button. Yeah, it's not 100% my fault. I don't think. I mean, it might be. It probably is, because now I definitely remember that I did not load that into the Stream Deck because it wasn't in the same spot that I thought it was in. Ladies and gentlemen, cable A. There we go. Okay, straight off a 30-hour stream, ladies and gentlemen, Lost in 73.
Welcome to Talking Trek Podcast. This is Lost in 73, and I'm here after over 27 hours of being awake, actually after 28 hours of being awake, reading everything perfectly fine. Really, I swear it's totally fine. Everything's totally okay. Here's the part of what's is on tap for the podcast coming up. We are doing M89 patch notes because we can't call them by the month anymore.
IOTA.
We've got new ships, new routes, new options, new CT and FT, new CT and FT currency because we need more currency. Mm-hmm. Players can eliminate high-level enemies without event orbs. How does Borg ship function? Or how does the Borg ship fusion work? It has a really long cooldown, doesn't last for very long, and only effects for 2 rounds. We'll talk about it. Players are wondering why fixes by progression bugs, recharge beam issues, and other recent problems have not been implemented yet. And first contact event. Everything you need to know. The first article can be found at the end of the previous patch notes. And the last thing that I'll be talking about is active research program. Call your friends. Due to several issues that have recently arisen, things appear to be unfolding differently than planned. This is an excellent idea. Is it? Stay tuned.
Is it? We don't know if it was a great idea. Lost in 73. And yes, he recorded that like 3 hours ago, expecting to go off the air, and then ended up staying 30 hours. Poor guy. So anyway, yeah, no, that was kind of fun. That was some of the stuff that we planned on talking about tonight, and there's quite a long list there. So Matters, let's jump in first. Okay, let's jump in first to the actual store itself. This is the meat and potatoes, and or maybe we should talk about the loop. This is our first podcast. If you're tuning in, if you're deciding whether or not to buy, or you did just buy, et cetera, if you did just buy it, it's a really simple thing. You go up to this brand new section of space right next to the Borg Conqueror Solo Armadas. You start in Assimilated Soul, and you come up here, and you just hit these things. Depending on the tier of your sphere, you're going to hit starting at 55, and you'll progress upwards. In doing so, you've got basically a weekly task that is set in the same area as your Maverick tasks over here. And you'll notice that you've got new sphere tasks, 5 solos and 1 alliance. That completing those tasks are going to earn you epic Maverick credits, a brand new currency, but it's also going to increase your Maverick reputation and original Maverick credits from last month. All 6 of these tasks are exactly the same as far as what their payouts are, or the currencies that they're paying out. They do scale upwards. They all give the same epic credits, original credits, and reputation. The tasks do indeed stack. So you'll notice from the first task, hitting level 55 plus, just with the sphere. You have to have the actual sphere. Then once you get the sphere to tier 2, then you can start killing the 57 pluses. When you do that, both tasks will actually score. They punch down, like they're reversible. What do they call that? Backwards compatible Matters, I believe. So when you do one, it completes the previous one. The next milestone comes at the sphere tier 4, in which you then would start killing at least the level 59s. And in doing so, again, we'll complete that task and the 2 prior to that. Then task number 4 is tier 7 of the cube, and lastly, tier 10 of the cube, which is going to be quite expensive or quite a long time for you to play. Those tasks, I mean, that's it, Matters. That's all there is to it. This is an extremely simple loop. You have the sphere, you have 1 target, you go in, you kill, I think we did this math, anywhere between 20 and 40 of these things, depending on your tier. And that's it. It completes the task. It dumps you a bunch of credits. Feature over. So why? Why do we care? Why does it matter? Why do I need a sphere in order to earn these currencies? What is the motivation? Well, that comes in the Maverick store. And here's where players are divided. And I do think that they're divided. I think that I've listened to a lot of content Matters over the last 48 to 72 hours. And even Lost In, Tarpy have talked about the value not being there for them. Tarpy even bought the sphere and says, I feel like I regret it. On the other hand, MJ wants the sphere. Mord sees the value in the sphere, but says not enough. I'm going to grind it out. And we're going to talk to the community tonight about where you guys land on it and why. What items are important to you in this store? Matters, let me start with you. And let me just first ask, did you buy the sphere?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Why?
Right away at like 12:01. Well, because I didn't know yet anything about the loop.
Okay.
And I wanted to figure it out.
You wanted to figure out the loop. Okay. Well, it was a really simple loop. Did you look at the store to determine whether or not it was going to pay anything, or did you just dive in and say, hey, let's go?
Yeah, I looked at the store. Some of the stuff, I don't think it showed up until you had the sphere, though. So I wasn't 100% sure what the payout was going to be and what I was going to be able to get and how much work that was going to take or how long it was going to take. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I bought it and I bought the day one pack to bump it up and get the chaos tech.
I did too. Absolutely.
That seemed like it was going to be helpful. But I maybe should have looked a little more at the chaos tech and what it would cost to upgrade and what you get with each upgrade before deciding that that was worth spending money on.
So here's I kind of agree with you there. I think Scopely did a fantastic job at making us feel like there was a lot more here than what there was. Like the hype was there. First of all, you had the Borg Sphere, right? Yay, a Borg Sphere! Finally get a Borg Sphere! All right. Then on top of that, you also had the inclusion of the prototype forbidden tech with the ship unlock pack. Never happened. It's never happened.
I like that.
All right. I like it too. I think a lot of people did. I think a lot of people thought, ooh, a prototype forbidden tech and a ship, it's like a 2-for-1 value. Cool. All right. And then they came in and said, okay, we're going to put the chaos tech in the upgrade pack. Same thing. We're thinking 50% off, right? We're thinking 2-for-1 special chaos tech and an upgrade pack for the sphere. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're thinking 2-for-1. What a bargain. By Grabthar's hammer, what a value.
Exactly.
So we did the same thing. I did the same thing. Okay. Now, here is where I see it in chat. Zek says no regrets. Neon Light says 100% regret. Okay. And this is where, and it sounds like Matters is maybe in the regret camp. I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think this is super interesting because everything that I have heard across all of the streams that I've watched and listened to over the last 2 days, it's very interesting because this to me, this is going to sound shilly, and I don't mean for it to, but this might be the most clear-headed that the community has been in determining value in a really, really long time. What is one of the things, chat, that I have said for years and years and years on this show is that it's up to us to determine value. It's up to us to determine worth. We don't scream about the price. We don't throw a fit. We don't slam something down or set pitchforks on fire. We just don't buy. Retrieving, no, that's exactly it. Most clear-headed, and I don't mean unanimous. Not at all. Yes, we're split. I don't know if it's 50-50, but yes, the community is divided. And why? Why is the community divided? First of all, it doesn't need to be unanimous. I think it's beautiful that it's not unanimous. To be honest with you, I think it's beautiful that some players do like it and other players don't. Okay? I think that is perfect. Beautiful. And the reason that I love it retrieving is because we are thinking about it objectively. All right. And that's not super big kudos to Scopely. Okay. That's actually super big kudos to the community. Because a lot of times, Matters, the community feels forced. How many times have we said that? I feel forced. Scopely's making me do something and it's terrible. And they're just forcing us this crap and it's not worth anything. And yet this month retrieving, we actually have people saying, yeah, I don't think I'm going to buy. Like, and here's the thing, because of these tasks, I think that is a good, okay response. Players for the first time are actually feeling like I'm not going to get left behind if I don't spend. Now, I know this is a complete flip on its head. Because then people who do want to spend are going to be like, well, where's the value? Where's my super oomph, right? Where's my stuff that I'm going to get that's going to put me miles and miles ahead just because I spent $100? I think some people in the community who are talking about the rewards here may be overlooking the point that it may not have been intended or designed to be that gappy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the fact that Mord says, hey, you know what? I see the value here, but $100 isn't for me. It's going to be relatively simple for me to catch up when I'm ready, and I'm going to do it when I'm there. You know? Now, Tarpy says it is that gappy. Is it? Because most of the players saying that the store isn't worth it. They're saying that the faction store isn't worth the $100. Well, so that's kind of the perspective, right? Oh, Tarpy's on stage. There you go. Why are you chatting? I didn't see you on stage. Let me ask you.
I didn't want to interrupt.
No, well, appreciate that. Thank you. So here's the thing. Players are saying, and you and I even talked about this earlier. You said the store doesn't feel like it's worth enough to spend $100 or even $200 on, right? But then other players are like, well, I'll do this when I get to it. It's not necessarily worth $100 to me, but I'm okay grinding it out. Now, by the way, I'm not pitching this like, you know, Tarpy told me earlier. She was like, listen, be careful on how you say this because we're not supposed to be selling the sphere, and I'm not trying to. I'm actually trying to bring together the perspective that Retrieving just said a minute ago, that it is really refreshing to see the community have a clear perspective on this that doesn't feel forced. I think what we're seeing, Tarpy, for the first time, maybe in a long time, is that players don't feel like they're going to be epically left behind if they decide to grind this thing out. And I actually think that's a good thing.
I think that they already feel left behind and that the store doesn't have a heck of a lot of value.
How would they already feel left behind?
Because if they want to buy this sphere, then they can buy the sphere and get, some more stuff in the store. But it's like the stuff that's in the store that they're missing because they're getting the sphere is building parts. And to me, it's more that if you grind out the sphere for 100 to 200 days, that anything that you get from the sphere takes another 100 to 200 days to unlock. And so I think a lot of players are looking at that time frame, or 50 to 100 days to unlock after the sphere, and saying, will I even need this by that point?
Well, I love that argument because that's the same argument we say about every single feature, right? But there are still fleet commanders, there's still artifacts, there's still ships that are very relevant today that were, you know, very relevant 6 months or a year or 2 years ago. So I don't think that it's super fair to judge content 2 years in the future, in fairness. However,
right. So you kind of have to as a free-to-play right now.
The Maverick store has some of the best extremely long-term things in it. It has incredible, super helpful things for G7 players. So,
which is currently 2% of the game. Which obviously
is
that
currently
will grow.
2% of the game. I'm not saying that's a good thing, by the way. I don't like that, but I mean, there's that artifact that gives you massive isolated damage against open armadas, which you have to be G7 to do. There's what's this other
you
thing
mean the
that you
broken
get
ones?
now with the ship? There's yeah, sure, the broken. I don't know if they're broken. I'm not there.
Broken.
They're broken. Then there's this other artifact that you can get with the sphere.
Some of them.
Once you get the sphere up, again, super duper helpful. Cochrane's telescope. Apex barrier against hostiles, up to 15,000 Apex barrier, which is massive in PvE, but it only works on G7 ships. So for G7 players, or people who are working their way towards G7 or eventually going to be G7, progression in Maverick store is not a bad thing. It's just,
how long
if they're not going to be G7 soon, then it's not very helpful yet.
How long until you get the sphere to tier 10?
I don't know.
Who knows?
DJs, you have the spreadsheet.
A year?
The spreadsheet
Probably.
doesn't matter. I mean, I can tell you
Yeah,
natively.
it always changes.
Yeah, I can tell you.
Okay, so tell us the native time.
Natively, you'd be looking at 466 days. All right, that's native. However,
And that's and that's after you unlock the ship, or with unlocking the ship
that would be
at
after
200
unlocking
days.
after unlocking the ship.
So you're looking at, if you unlock it in, I'm using 150 days as the benchmark. Like it's somewhere
Okay.
between the 100 days that we would like and the 200 days that they seem to be planning for. So that's 466. I'm going to say 450 plus another 150. We're going to call that just about 2 years.
I am going to go out on a crazy precedent-setting limb and say it won't be 600 days. It never
I know,
is.
but it never is. But look how many times they've really sped up the Vindicator. Look at how many times, like,
Vindicator.
look at the value
Vindicator has
that
been,
we had for the relativity increase.
Are you referring to?
Look at it.
Are you referring to the Ferengi battle pass, the other battle passes? I mean, listen, it will take a few months, obviously, but this timeline, I almost feel like it's unfair for us to look at this timeline anymore. It's necessary math.
That's the timeline we have.
It's necessary math.
We can't just bank on something coming later. This is the timeline we have, and yes, it is month 1 for the sphere.
And actually, I'm gonna argue
information
that you totally can bank on that. Every ship
we've
had has come with parts in one form or another in a later mechanic. All right. And
how long do you want to? Do you want to just continue with your precedent setting and give us a time frame?
3 to 9 months.
I think that's fair. I would have said 6 to 9 months, but sure. 6 to 9 months is pretty reasonable.
When did the Dauntless come out?
When did the Dauntless come out? Not 9 months ago, I don't think, has it?
December, January?
No.
7 months ago. Okay, so we still got a little bit of time. And for the record,
granted, they put research particles in
Benny Hill says October, so that would have been, that's 6 months ago. 6 months ago. Now, Clark says mine's at tier 3. Well, in fairness, it took 3 of those months to unlock. So you're 3 months in, you're at tier 3. Also, the Dauntless is incredibly slow. It's very, very slow. I mean, I had mine on day 1. I'm pretty sure I even paid for one unlock pack, and my Dauntless is still low. Lower. I mean, it's slow for everybody in the game. I think I just took mine to tier 8, literally just now, and I have paid for one pack and got it on day 1. So in 6 months and $100, I'm still only tier 8. It's very, very slow. Okay, very, very slow.
You are notoriously bad at specialty ship progression, though.
That's true. That's true.
Not because you're a terrible player or anything. Like, you take a lot of time off. You go on the cruise. You go away with your kids. You do a lot of stuff where you're going like a week without doing pulls.
Absolutely.
Right. So you're
totally fair.
You're a little behind the.
It's because I'm.
I think people that didn't buy a pack are probably around the same spot you are.
Really? No. If you bought the ship on day 1.
If you bought the ship day 1 and didn't buy, is it tier 7? Okay, so almost.
Well, I mean, hell, I just went to tier 8 literally like yesterday or the day before. That's so funny. Jeff gave same thing. I bought day 1, mine's tier 7, Sugar Red's tier 7. Okay, so I have a couple of components on you guys. Not bad. Okay, not bad.
You paid for the ability to go away and not do pulls every now and again.
I bought 20 days worth of progression. Fair enough. So Burton brings up a point in chat, which I'm going to answer. Natively speaking, Burton, you're exactly right. The actual drip of this ship does make it slower than the Dauntless, if we count on that, okay? And Tarpy is absolutely right. This is the only math we have, but I think it deserves a footnote, all right, that we have recently, what was the most recent one we got? Was Junker and Vindicator?
31.
Yeah, Junker and Vindicator.
And that came out in April.
Okay, and we've had Junker for what? In the Ferengi store for what? 2-3 months.
1 month.
No, it's been more
It's
than a
been
month.
two for Nisfor, so it's
Reliant
like
was the
5
last
weeks.
one. That,
It's been more
did
than
the
2
Reliant
months.
just show up?
No, Reliant, I think, made it in there before the Junker did. The Junker's been in there at least twice because I remember the first time it came out, it was all the way at the end of the store. Like, people didn't even realize it was there. It was all the way down.
Fun.
Yeah, Mad Hatter says it's been in there for 4 months. I know it's been at least 3. Jeff says 3.
I think it's been that one.
It definitely has been
But
not 1.
sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 3. I'm going to go with 3 on that. Regardless, though, I mean, all these things are fact. Okay, I get the sentiment on that, but here's the point that I'm drawing with the upgrade time. You're also looking at tier 10 as a benchmark. That may be a benchmark for you. That's a G7 ship. Not all players are going to be looking at that benchmark. We might have somebody who's
that benchmark was for the G7 artifacts because you have to be top 71 to get them. So that timeline matches when you would need and use that as well.
What are you referring to? I'm pulling particles for G7 efficiency right now. What are you referring to?
The artifacts that are there for
the artifacts.
G7.
Are any of the artifacts actually any good? Let's look. Exosuit helmet.
Yes.
That matters his point.
Isolated defense.
The G7 specific ones are spectacular. The ones that are good for everybody are meh.
Okay.
So that unlocks a tier 6.
No, tier 10.
So, okay.
Tier 10
the Exo. Okay. Yep. Tier 10. So that is when that unlocks. So to even get that one, that's pretty good. You're looking at right now 2 years.
Uh-huh.
If you don't buy the ship day 1, you're looking at 2 years. So by that point, when players may be able to get that, say they drop it by 50% somehow, you're still looking at a full year from now for when players might get there. Do you think that we will have other tools in the game that might match that are easier to get?
No.
Maybe.
Oh, but by then?
By a year from now, there will probably be other things in the game that are possible to get. Say research is in a research tree.
I don't think there's going to be anything showing up that's going to be that powerful that isn't also going to have a ridiculously long timeline to get for free.
I do think that they will come out with something that shadows it, but it will also have a time frame on it. It almost sounds like we're expecting a year to be too long for a paid feature. And I feel like that has kind of been the run of the mill, like 6 to 9 months, 6 to 12 months has kind of been a historical number. A lot of the community has pushed back against that for a long of time. But I mean, that is typically kind of what we see with super high valued items. How long does it take to max an epic officer if you're completely free to play? It takes a long time. And for the record, I'm not necessarily defending the worth. Okay. I'm not. What I want to point out is exactly what I started the segment on, which is that certain players are going to find certain worth in this depending on where they are. I think, to be honest with you, they have, as I said at the beginning, they did a pretty decent job at kind of dangling a carrot here for people who were going to spend on this sphere. The biggest reason that I think that was successful is exactly what Matters points out, is that there's a lot of G7 stuff here. Now, which it is 2% of the game. Totally agree with that. But I also am going to point out a pattern that I noticed here a couple of months ago, which was it felt like they were launching stuff that had really long-term value or had value down the road. They were almost future-proofing their own game. Do you guys remember when they released the skins for the G7 miners at Op 70, 72 or whatever? And they released the gold skin miners, but it was months ago. And we said, well, that's going to be something that players will get to eventually, but certainly not right now. All right. And Stratolorian accurately points out how much does that 2% make for revenue of the game. You've got players like Cruzito who have come in here and said, hey, listen, we've sat on our thumbs for 12 months right? So I think that there has to be a healthy balance there between developing content that's going to be exciting for people and still provide something down the road that is going to motivate people to move forward with. Here's what I want to do at this particular point. I want to go through this store. And I want to look at some of these items and talk about some of these items, because I do believe that in a lot of the conversations that I've overheard, it's interesting, and I'm going to tell you why. I heard last month, Matters, that players pretty uniformly said, we don't have enough Maverick credits. There's too many things that we need to buy. There's too many bundles, too much stuff in here. We need more Maverick credits. Couple that with the fact that I need so many to upgrade my officers, and it's not enough Maverick credits. Let me start right there. Do we remember having that opinion?
I remember people having that opinion. However, I think they're wrong.
Explain why.
Because there isn't a lot of value in it. Well, for some people, that's accurate. Again, it's progression to get these G7 things that are really slap your grandma good. Most of the stuff that is for sub G7 players is either not particularly valuable because of bloat and other stuff. It doesn't help that much, or just not very necessary, because I mean, it's just easy to get through the game without these things. I mean, they're giving us they've added like cost efficiency for the Squall research particles. Like, who struggles with Squall research particles? It's completely unnecessary.
Is it?
By the time you get your Squall to the next tier, you can get almost all the researches that you unlock.
I believe you are thinking like a leading edge player.
I just but the parts it comes from the polls. As long as you're just doing the polls every day,
I believe you are thinking
then it's fine.
like a leading edge player.
If you're only doing the parts polls and you're not doing the research polls, then sure, you're going to be behind on the research. But
what if you started?
I mean,
the
I just
Squall
single
today?
pulled the research particle.
What if you started the Squall today? What if you built it today?
Then I would only have 2 researches that I could do because it's a tier 1.
Okay.
What op do you unlock the Squall at, DJs?
What is it? 50?
30.
40?
No,
30.
it's a G3.
30? Is it 30?
30.
30s.
Okay, great.
35,
30.
30 something.
Perfect.
Is it 30? Flat 30?
30.
Yeah, there you go.
It is 30.
Okay.
Ops 30.
So do you think that by the time you are Ops 55, if you are keeping up with starting the Squall at 30,
there's a
do you
very
think
magic
you will
phrase.
have-
There is a very magic phrase you just spit out there.
If you're keeping up.
If you're keeping up. Guys, my Squall, my first Squall is not even maxed yet. And
Yeah, but you stopped purposely.
That's my point, Matters. I just said you're thinking like a leading edge player. You need to stop thinking like a 2%er, bro. All of us
I'm
do.
not a thinking like I am
100%
not
100%
strategizing. I am just doing the thing that you have to do to be able to do the polls.
Jeff Games is 100%
I am thinking
right.
like
Everything
like
about mid-ops.
average player.
No, you're not. Not a chance. Everything about what Scopely is developing here lately has mid-ops written all over it. And it's future-proofed, which, by the way, we've begged them to do for years. These parts down here, all right, this right here, Recon Locus schematics, Transigen Forge parts, these are not here for us. These are not here for us. Okay? These are
and
here.
that's why I was saying 25 ops later, you're probably not going to be that behind.
Crazy. Jeff Games says you could buy a $100 pack and jump 20 ops in 3 months, and I believe he's accurate. All right.
How many people are going to do that? Are we specifically making this content for those people?
We are specifically making content that is future-proofed and has a future acceleration model pre-built into it. All right. Every single feature that's coming out has another loop that catches up on it. All right. Jeff Games is 100% right. There's a $100 pack right now that can legitimately take you from 25 to 45. Is that accurate? Holy cow, Jeff.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you go. All right. Let me ask.
What?
If that player spent $100 to go from 25 to 45, and
They're going to struggle in
yeah,
a lot of ways.
They will, okay? Which is why some of this content is coming with such heavy catch-up mechanics. All right? Now, Riskbreaker's 1,000% right. $100 doesn't jump ops by that much in G5 and nowhere near it in G6 and nothing in G7. Totally agree, okay? However, that is what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring everybody up to G5. We've had this conversation for months. Okay, they're trying to bring everybody up to G5. So, yes, Tarpy, I think it is super believable to think that somebody could be Ops 55 and not have their Serene Squall research done, not have their locust building done. When they come in and they do an outpost, I think it's super believable that they're going to need to come in here. Is it outpost? Crap. It might be challenge track. Where is it? Yeah, ship efficiencies in here. Blueprints for Serene Squall, Reliant. I don't remember if Junker was in here. You've got Junker parts, Vengeance parts, if and when you get there, Reliant parts. I want to point out I'm still pulling the Reliant parts. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Me too.
You're exactly right, Rage. Okay? They don't want people below 55. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So if they're going to fast track people up to this point, up to 51, up to 55, then they are going to have to future-proof some of these things and provide catch-up mechanics, which they're doing. Now, do I think that that provides value to Matters or to Tarpy or to me or to 90% of you in chat right now? Absolutely not. I agree. That is not value, but it will be value to players who hit 55 in 6 months. Or 3 months, or a year, if it takes that long, okay? Not needed for us. We have to think about the new servers. And by the way, will somebody be Ops 55 in months? I don't know. Ask the new server who launched 42 days ago and has over a dozen level 50s. It's happening, guys. We have no idea. Only unless you guys are spending on a mid-ops account do you realize how fast they're jamming people through. There is a 44-day server right now that has a couple of dozen level 50s in it. All right? They are just punching them through. Okay? Now, when you look at the rest of this store, which is where I wanted to kind of come back and focus, there absolutely are items that are valuable to some and not to most of us. And I think that that is a really, really good point. All right? Which is why I personally feel, Tarpy, it's unfair to grade the entire store on one scale, on one simple perspective, because it's clearly built and has items in here for different people. And I think that's the problem with depth, right? I think that might be the biggest issue that we see here with people saying that the store is not super worth it because there might only be a couple of items for us in here because now the items are so diverse, right? By the way, I totally agree. Mord brought this up earlier too. Tarpy brought up the telescope, which seems to be the only artifact that I would probably want. Mord brought up the fact that there's building parts, but not until tier 11. That's really weird. Okay, that's probably kind of dumb.
You don't want Cochrane's music disc?
Cochrane's music disc. Let's bounce around here a little bit.
From last month, for the record.
That's last month's, dude.
Yeah, from last month.
Well, I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, there's still the Borg Sphere gives people more Maverick credit, income, and reputation. So it's still something you get faster by getting the Borg Sphere.
Okay. So I wasn't going to go that route yet, but we will. All right. I want to separate matters. I want to separate the two loops. Are we talking original Maverick credits or are we talking epic Maverick credits? Okay. Those are the items.
I thought we were talking both because Recon Locust schematics and Transigen Forge stuff found its way into the conversation.
Well,
so I figured it was
you
both.
Specifically said you bought the ship to increase last month's credits.
Yes, thank you. I was going full sphere on that. All right. Because that was the number one thing that I bought it for. Had nothing to do with Epic credits. And that's actually something that I said on Lost in Stream earlier. Okay.
Kind of sad, really.
I don't know.
That you bought it to increase last month's stuff and not even for its own loop.
I don't know that I call that sad, to be honest with you. I think I simplify it. I think the sphere, and I said this in Lost in Stream, and people were surprised that I said it. I think the sphere is a completely overcomplicated, unnecessary loop to disguise a prime. The sphere is a prime, guys. That's it. It's an acceleration prime. Period. Okay? That's what I look at it as. I say, I look at this as the sphere being the method of acceleration for what I valued, which is the original Maverick credits. All right. Now, Mimi says, I think I would call it sad because the sphere is very bad at boosting OG Maverick income. I don't know if I agree with that. We see a lot of spheres that a lot of primes that will come out. Sometimes they double, sometimes they add 30%, sometimes they add 20%, sometimes it's an efficiency. Look at the Vengeance crap. That was terrible. Those were 5% primes. I mean, they're all over the map in value, right? Or in values, numerical numbers. This is going to source me original Maverick credits in two different ways. That's right, Stratolorian. The first one is using the Epic credits for the primes. Okay? And that prime is very definitive. That prime is super definitive. That prime is 20%. Okay? That's 20%. So right off the bat, from every task I'm doing, when I unlock that prime, I'm going to get 20% more credits in all 12 of my tasks. Well, that's a lot. Okay? As a matter of fact,
solo tasks.
Well, let's look because we've got a calculator in here. All right. So let's take a look. Here we go. Calculator. I'm going to jump this up to my level, and I'm going to use the credit income that I am going to project for myself here. All right. I am Ops 72. I do not have either of those primes. I am able to complete my milestone 7. My alliance has not done it yet. I'm going to drop that down to, let's see where we are right now. We did finish it. Is that? They did finish it. Okay, so I'm going to pop that back up to 7. All right. Oops. So that happened really quick because I think we were only at like milestone 4 or 5 the other day. So milestone 7. Was I looking at the wrong one? Oh, okay. Yeah. So we are on milestone. We've got milestone 5. And that apparently just happened. We got 1,935. Yeah, because I don't think that was there yesterday. And if it was, it would give me an event button, right? I claimed my events earlier today. So that must have happened today. So let's go back to 5. And how much time we got? 4 days. We're going to hit it. I'm going to leave it at 7. So milestone 7 for me. Milestone 7 for my alliance. This is for me. Okay. And by the way, this is how I'm determining some of my value. All right. Milestone 7 in the material spend, which everybody's going to get. I also have dive bar 30, so I'm doing that one as well. That one's a lot easier than grinding. I am not going to do this bottom solo one. And we should probably, I'm going to go milestone 5 on the grinding one because we obviously hate that. All right. So that means that I am going to pull approximately 24,370 original Maverick credits over the course of a week. All right. By the way, that's a healthy number. Okay. A lot of people are nowhere near that number. All right. That's a healthy number for me. I did not buy the Prime, but I did buy the Sphere. No, dude, I didn't. I didn't poo-poo everything in there. I might have.
If you've got the,
I might have poo-pooed.
If you can unlock it, you'll do the grinding one this week.
Oh well, I'm not going to.
it's easier than the mat spend. It's get rep.
I'm not dive bar 60 or 50, 40.
Oh, okay.
What is it? Dive bar 40. All right. So hang on one second, dude. I'm pointing direction to different things. I do think that there are items that are poo-poo in there. For me, I don't think that there are items in there that are poo-poo for somebody else. But I do think that there are things that are important to me that might be poo-poo to somebody else. And that's actually the exact position that I want to demonstrate here, dude, is that this store is pretty diverse. And I feel like what's important to Zero is different than what's important to Mord, is different than what's important to Lost In, is different than what's important to Tarpy, is different than what's important to me. And that is actually one of the things I like about this store. I feel like it's diverse enough to have value to leading edge players as well as brand spanking new players. Or players that jump into this loop being super behind on Recon Locus. Or players who spent $100 to jump 20 ops levels. I think there's something all around for everybody. Now, what I want to come back to is the Prime for me. That's number one. The Prime that I'm earning with the new currency will be unlockable for me in... roughly 100 weeks, I think, or 100 weeks, 100 days. Didn't we do also the math on these, on this right here? Not quite.
So
it's like 70 days, right? It's like 70, 75 days.
It depends on the tier of your...
Yeah.
I tried to say cube, tried to say sphere in one word.
Yes, that's right.
That thing, it depends on the tier of your ship. So it does go up by tier. So somewhere between 50 and 70 days. So if you say 60 days, that's an easy time, regardless of tier. It's 60 days. That's 2 months.
Oh, hell, I'll take a Prime in 2 months. Yeah, I'll take a Prime in 2 months. So let's see what that's going to do for me. Okay. Now, not for everybody. I totally understand. Here we go. Patron of the Maverick. If in 60 days, I can take my income from 24,000 to 33,000 in a week. That's a boost of, help me, 7,000. 7,000 extra credits in a week. 7,000 extra credits in a week. And that's, for me, that's 60 days. 60 days retrieving. All right. Now, one thing that I will circle back to, because right now we're talking about the value of the store. I said this on Tuesday. I will maintain it. This is my 15-second interlude here. I totally agree that the blueprint cost, and I said this on Tuesday, the blueprint cost is ridiculous. It's bad. It's too long. They should have just simply stuck to the freaking 100 days. Honest to God, they should have stuck to the 100 days. This was very, very upsetting to me. They should have stuck with 100 days. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Okay? But I'm actually talking...
The calculator's wrong.
What?
The calculator's wrong.
Why?
It doesn't boost the alliance tasks. Only the solo ones.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You better take that up with Jules, because I'm pretty sure he double-checked that.
Well, how much are you getting for your top milestone of your alliance Borg Armada hunt?
No, retrieving, I don't. I was doing the math here because that's one of the highest value things that I find with the epic credits. Andy says that matters is right. It says solo task. Yeah, let's pull it up and take a look.
Because I'm looking at it now and it's not.
I can't.
I've got it and that's not boosting them. No, just go into your game and what is the top milestone of your alliance solo task or alliance Borg Mata task? What's it pay up?
Solo Maverick. Yeah, it says solo 40%. Hang on, I'll get there. I'm looking at a couple of different things. Quit rushing me, matters. Yeah, 40 task. Okay, the alliance and the top milestone is showing 1,600.
1,600. What? How are you getting more than me?
Because we're different ops levels, bro. Just said that. You're not G7 yet. You're still up 69. So,
well, I still have that, and I've got less than you. I thought the alliance task paid the same for everybody. Huh. Weird. Are you looking at the alliance task or the?
Thought so. Right here it says Alliance, Conqueror, Borg, Armada Hunt. Count
Okay.
DeVille says I'm up 71 minus 1600. Perfect. Okay. Now, Andy's right. The text does say solo, so I'm assuming that must be accurate. Did this actually increase? Let's look. No, the calculator.
If you click on the little eye.
Okay.
On
Matters. I need you to calm down, bruh. The calculator's not wrong. Watch the numbers. Jules literally accounted for that. It's perfect. So, yes.
Boosting.
Right there. No, and it's boosting just the one category. So it's going up. Yeah, we got it. Okay. So, anyway.
My bad.
Oh, he says he fixed it. Matters was right. So if you look at Jules's comment in the chat.
Matters.
You just fixed it now?
Jules, you can't change things on me like in the last second. Okay. He literally just changed it. That is so funny. All right. The calculator just literally changed before your very eyes. That was a ninja fix. All right. Hey, I would have appreciated an announcement.
Stop telling me I'm wrong.
I would have appreciated an announcement. All right. Could you have given me a ping or like some kind of public announcement at everybody, please? All right. Come on. Take the win. Take the win.
Or just change the word in the calculator. Say edited now in all caps.
Oh my gosh! If you're in podcast right now, you did not just watch my screen just completely jump out of its own skin to fix that. Okay, so let's come back.
Right, and also the calculator that DJz is looking at is the Maverick faction store, which is not linked yet in the graphics room. So I will go do that at 10 o'clock on April 2nd.
There you go. Also, we got a nice little pop-up box right there that says DJz is squishy, and now he's got it strobing, so it's blinking on the screen. Beautiful. Love it. Thank you, Jules Verne. You are amazing. All right, now. Yes,
thanks, Jules.
Lord, you're getting messages from the future. That's so funny. So, okay, now that's going to change my value proposition here. Okay, it's going to change my value proposition. I'm going to go without the prime 24,370 with the prime 28,606. It's going to boost my weekly income by 4,300 credits. Until I start doing the third task. Oh, God, I really don't want to do the third task. It's a poopy task. Anyway, 4,300 credits is what it's going to give me. All right. 4,300 credits is what it's going to give me in additional Maverick credit income. And by the way, that's just off the prime. Okay. It's just off the prime. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take a look at what else I'm earning credit-wise. All right. And let me see if I can find if he's got a similar calculator. In here with the Sphere task rewards. Perfect. Here we go. Sphere task rewards. Each of them are paying. I'm assuming that these are cumulative numbers. So if I do the first event, I'm making 800 additional credits. If I'm tier 2 on the Sphere, that's going to give me 2,480 more. Jules,
is that cumulative, Jules?
That's what I want to check. Jules, is this a cumulative number, or do I get to sum these numbers?
Look at game.
I could look in the game.
Does it say right below it?
Yeah, let's go check.
He said it was cumulative.
Tier 1.
Wait, go back to the thing. It says all milestones and tasks added together.
All milestones and lower tasks. Okay, perfect. So 1,680. By the time I get the Sphere to tier 4, which I believe is a reasonable number, okay, I'm looking at another 2,645. I don't think, if I bought it, I've got the upgrade, I'm already tier 2. Looking at the Sphere time, I'm going to say that's probably also going to happen within, I took 22 days off of that. So I'm going to say within that same 60-day time frame-ish, I'm going to be tier 4. So I'm going to unlock my prime and hit tier 4 on the Sphere roughly at the same time. Okay, 60 days in. And by the way, Sec, again, this is my scenario, right? Because I've already cut off 22 days by buying a pack. Okay? I've already cut off 22 days.
Plus 150.
I bought a pack and I have the ship. So I've cut off 22 days. Again, this is my scenario.
170.
My scenario.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it.
60 days from now, I'm going to have a prime and I'm going to have, and by the way, this is kind of the situation that I'm drawing. Okay. What am I going to have? And I think this is probably what Scopely wanted, but we're missing it. Okay. What, Tony? Does this include a tier up? Yeah. It's right here. Right here. So the question that I think, and Mord asked this question earlier, what am I going to be missing over the time? Like Tarpy says, 150 days to unlock it, and then another 80 days, so 230 days before I get the ship to tier 4. I think the question that Lost In asked on his channel and that Mord was talking about on that stream is the exact right question. It's the same question that we ask every single time a ship comes out. All right? The same question that we ask is the value. What is it worth? What am I getting over time? We ask the same thing in the Mirror Universe. We've talked about the same method with primes. What is it costing? What does it get you? Okay? And I think that's exactly what I'm trying to draw a comparison here with me. By buying the Sphere and even buying the first unlock pack, I've saved what, Tarpy? 230 days of credit income. And I think that's one side of the same coin. You guys, a lot of people are saying, well, 230 days is too long. Okay? Forgotten Sex says it got you to spend money. Yup. And I think that's kind of exactly what they were doing when they built this thing. Okay? Yeah, it's two $200 packs, one for the unlock and one for the upgrade. Okay? But that saved me 200 and what was it, Tarpy? 230 days. Okay? MJ says the same thing. Listen, it's about time for me. I want it for the speed up. Buying the ship for him is going to save 150 to 160 days. He may not pay to upgrade it at that point, but he's saving 150 days. 150 days of what? 150 days of what? It's going to take me 60 days.
Happiness.
Well, let's quantify 150 days. It's going to take me 60 days to get this prime and to get to tier 4. So what is my quantifiable income? I'm going to take $2,645 per week, and I'm going to add it to, I lost the calculator, and I'm going to add it to the $4,300 that I get for my prime, right? We already agree I'm going to unlock those at roughly the same time. So $4,300 there and $2,600 over here. That is 7,000 credits. 7,000 credits extra that I'm going to earn every single week. That is 27,000 a month. And I am going to, and by the way, no, not yet, Forgotten Sec. He's going to buy the ship. That's going to save him the 150 days. I'm still going to spend 60 days to go to tier 4, and he will spend, I am losing my task. I'm too far zoomed out here. I'm going to spend 60 days getting to tier 4. He will spend 85 days getting to tier 4. So he's going to have 20 days to make up on me. Plus, he'll save the 150 days, which actually, when you think about it, is terrible value for the upgrade pack. Only saves 20 days.
So in 6 months, you'll both have the same tier.
Roughly, yeah. No,
because you'll fail at doing your polls.
Probably. I'm only tier 2 right now, Tim. Yeah, I spent $100 and only got it to tier 2. Okay.
You didn't get to tier 3?
No, bro. I am tier 2.
He didn't do some parts polls.
I did miss one poll.
Oh, you missed some polls during the tier ups.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I total
well,
noob.
Tier up. He's
From
tier 2.
Yeah, from building it. Yeah, from the tier 1 to tier 2, I forgot to pull. Total noob move. Zach, you probably.
So you're like one part shy?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you probably did the smart thing. I did not do the smart thing. Where's my freaking sphere? You did the smart
your
thing
life.
and you pulled the bundles appropriately. I did not. All right. So, nope, I lied. I'm tier 3. I lied. Sorry. Wah, wah.
You would have been close because you were literally one pull away.
Yeah. So tier 3. All right. So I got 2 tiers. So anyway, coming back, tier. Well, then actually, I'm going to say I cut off 50 days, right? So I'm actually going to be at tier 4 within 33 days, and I'll have my prime in 60 days. That's going to complicate my math. However, all right, in 60 days from now, I will have 7,000 credits more on the week. I'll get 27,000 credits more on the month. If MJ was going to grind this out, he would take 100, we're going to assume 150 days. And then we would assume another 85 days, as Tarpy said, 235 days to get to the same tier 4. So in 235 days, divided by 30, that's 7.8 months times 27,000 credits. 211,000 credits I will have earned in the same amount of time that it will take him to start earning them. Now, I'm not defending. Okay, I think there's always this confusion between analyzing the math. No, I don't have to defend it, Sec. I think that the blueprint cost is terrible, drastically bad. Okay, but there is a difference between talking about the money and talking about the math than there is defending. I'm not defending anything. Okay, I'm teaching on the math, the economics of this ship as it stands. Interpret it how you want. Okay, interpret it how you want. But this is always what we do. I don't think, and for the record, doesn't it also cost 100,000 credits to unlock this ship? Or 150,000, Tarpy, what is it? If you did it in 150 days, it's like 150,000 credits, right?
Yeah.
So if you consider that amount of credits on top of the 211,000 that I earned that MJ didn't, now you're talking a 360,000 credit swing. Plus, Caledon's right. If you grind it out, you also got to grind out the Forbidden Tech and the Chaos Tech, which is arguable. I don't think the Chaos Tech is actually going to be very useful on this ship anywhere before Tier 7, to be honest with you. Okay? I think it's gonna take a long time for that to be valuable. And even then, I don't know that it's valuable other than maybe a little bit useful. Okay? And Venadia says, it does feel like you're defending it by saying that because Scopely jacked up the acquisition of new content, it now makes more sense to spend money to acquire it. No, I think it's value. All right? I think it's what you decide. I'm not telling anybody they should spend on it. I'm explaining the math and why I decided to upgrade it. Because I look at this, 360,000 credits. All right? That, I mean, listen, whether I defend it or not, it is what it is. You guys you guys think I have the power to change it? Don't. Sure don't. All right? But this is the math. If this is the math, am I willing to spend $100 for 360,000 credits? And that's where I determine it for me. Now, here's a great question. Probably the question that we should have come to earlier before the math, but here is a very good question. What are you going to spend those 360,000 credits on, DJ? All right, let's go back to the store. Original Maverick credits. What am I going to spend 360,000 credits on? Well, I can tell you where at least a couple 100,000 of those are going to go straight into the officers. Straight into the officers. The officers are 25,000 credits just to go to tier 2. And what is it to go from tier 4 to tier 5 is just 200,000 credits, like for one tier. Now, you're right, Mars. Yes, my sum, what I have done here, mine is based on $200, not 100, because you had to buy the ship for 100, and then I'm also saving 50. I'm saving 52 days with another 100. All right. So I'm looking at $200 is going to give me the timeline equivalent of 361,000 credits. Okay. Now, Mimi, by the way, this accumulation right here is over, what did we say, Tarpy? 230 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
This 361,000 is over 230-ish days. So no, Mimi, I don't have a tier 3 Cochrane today. Won't be long. Won't be long because I did pretty good with Coda. All right. But no, that is my accumulation over 230 days by accelerating. And that's why I call it a prime. That's why I call it a prime. All right. And let's see, I've got enough shards to go to tier 2 and then 46 out of 200 to go to 3. All right. But that's exactly why I look at this as a prime. Everybody has access to the Maverick credits. This has kind of been our definition for a long time. Retrieving says, did my math include the CC gift? Or are you talking pure income? Income of what? The actual credits? No, that was just income. The CC gift is actually $100 of that because I got the ship blueprints. All right, I got the ship blueprints, but I paid for my upgrade pack. So they gave me the ship, and then I bought the upgrade pack, which the ship pack didn't come with any parts. So I am using $200 as player investment. No, they didn't give me any ship parts. I paid for that. I did that on stream. So, yeah, I paid for that on stream. Now, what I am referring to with the officer credits, depending on when you get the officer shards, okay, because that's obviously going to matter, Mimi. This income is going to be spaced out. This is the delta between myself and MJ if he didn't buy the ship. Okay, right there. 361,000 credits over a period of 230 days. That is my income boost. That's right, Omicron. It is a prime. And what's the definition of a prime? A prime, well, let me rephrase. The definition of an acceleration prime as compared to a paywalled prime, because there are two different kinds, okay? A paywalled prime is something that has absolutely zero access to without spending money, right? That is the definition of a paywall. No way to get it without swiping a card, okay? Mm-hmm. Question, is the sphere paywalled?
Today. But no.
Well, today, sure, yes. Answer is yes. Okay? But there is a grinder's path, technically. Okay? You can't have it today unless you spend money on it. But you can grind it. You can start to earn it. That's right. MJ says, no, it's sourceable. And that's where people fall on different sides of the line. Is it paywalled? I agree. No. Okay? People will say that it is because you can't have it today unless you spend. But there's a path. Okay? Here's the better question. What does it pay? Well, it pays reputation, epic Maverick credits, and regular Maverick credits. Is reputation paywalled?
No.
No, it's currently grindable, right? By everybody. What about original Maverick credits? Are they paywalled? No. Because everybody can get those. The epic Maverick credits, again, you could argue that they are today, but they're not because it's sourceable after X amount of days. Okay? When you're looking at original Maverick credits, which is what we've talked about, let's use the parts primes. You guys love the multi-tier parts primes. All right? You guys all love those. What does a multi-tiered parts prime do? What does it do?
Increases cost efficiency of ship parts.
Which does effectively what? What does it do? If I've got 10,000 ship parts,
gives you more parts.
It lets my parts go farther. I can get more by using the same amount of parts, meaning that I've accelerated my progression by having these primes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Forgotten Sex says love is an interesting description of how we feel about a prime. Yeah, well, let me tell you, y'all think those things are the best things ever, especially once they became grindable. When they weren't grindable, all you wanted was those things. Now that they're grindable, they're great. Okay, I personally hate them. I think they were the worst thing that ever happened to the game, but that's it. All right, but they accelerate my progression, right? Most primes do accelerate progression. Some of the primes that we find to be really, really crappy are the ones that are truly paywalled. For example, here is an example of a paywalled prime. Third Builder. It's a paywalled prime. No sourcing whatsoever. Fourth Researcher. Paywalled prime. Dry Dock H? Is it H? Paywalled.
Maybe C, D, E, F, G, and H. Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, G is grindable. G.
No, G. You're right. Yeah, they made it grindable now.
They did.
So H.
So H.
Yeah. How about Prime Wartime Morale?
Prime
Paywalled.
Wartime Morale. I don't even know what that does, but okay. Okay. Paywall.
It's the garbage one that they keep putting on sale.
Okay.
And nobody buys it.
Paywall. Okay. Those are definitions of actual paywalled items that are not grindable. You can't get them unless you buy. Maverick credits are not. This has passed the prime test, at least for Talking Trek, because what we always say is that anything that is grindable but simply accelerates progression then becomes a player's choice. Right? Do you pay for the acceleration, but you can still get it if you grind it? Same thing for the Sphere. Same thing for these Maverick credits. Let's take an example of Prime Start. One of the best primes, still to this day, I claim that Prime Start is one of the best primes in the game. Sporting MP says Prime Start bundle, paywalled. No, it's not. The prime itself is, but what does the prime give you? It's an acceleration model of something that you can already get. It's just getting to stuff faster, right? I get more directives. I get more speed ups. I get more, what are the polygon directives? But you can earn those, okay?
One could argue that it's paywalling the double pull of the polygon chest.
Okay.
Because it's hard for anyone to manage that without that prime.
But can you earn polygon credits? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's the point. You're paying for more credits, therefore paying for faster acquisition of the rewards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's exactly how I'm looking at these Maverick credits. That's why, listen, it is up to you guys. I'm not defending it, but as far as a monetization metric for Maverick credits, you're just paying for more. Except they wrapped it up and put it in this big, pretty spherical-shaped bow package. And I don't know why. I got to be honest with you. I have no clue why this needed to be a feature. It's just a prime. It's a second prime, actually. They've already got a Maverick credit prime. This is the second prime. Didn't need to be a feature. You could have saved the Borg Sphere for something really cool. Really cool for something else, some other mechanic. All this does is give me more Maverick credit income. In my eyes, and by the way, I'm guilty of the same thing I said at the beginning of the show. I'm not looking at the things in the store that don't provide value to me. I got blinders on, right? I got blinders on. I'm doing the same thing. I'm only looking at what's valuable to me and not what might be valuable to other people. So let's go back to that store. That's number one, the prime and additional Maverick credits, which we just did the math on over 230 days, is going to accumulate to 360,000 credits. Bam. Okay. Sydney says, hey, same thing. The NX is an artifact prime. I can get behind that. I could get behind that. You get more. Let's look at other mechanics that are simply acceleration mechanics. Mirror universe. That's one of the biggest ones that people still use. You could argue that the Dauntless is an acceleration prime. The Revenant, acceleration prime. We don't get new stuff anymore. There's no new stuff. You remember when Voyager came out and artifacts were first introduced? That was cool. You remember when Wave Defense came out and it started sourcing more officers? That was cool. Pretty much everything that comes today is just making something else faster. May says, I think all specialty ships are basically acceleration primes. Well, most of them are. Most of them are, unless they actually give you something new. Sugar Red says artifacts are research. Okay. Then, yeah, it's an acceleration prime. Benny Hill says, I might disagree about the Dauntless. It's a rep grinder, too. What do you mean? You're getting rep faster? Away team is an officer prime. Okay. Everything is about acceleration, guys. This is no different. Let's go back to the store. Let's talk about a few other items, and then we got to take a break, and we'll come back. Let's talk about original Maverick credits and all the items that it can buy. And we're going to just quickly identify who should be interested or why you would be interested. Okay, original Maverick credits. First of all, the Spirit shipment for the dive bar, absolutely. Okay, Spirit shipment for the dive bar, absolutely. To this day, should remain probably your number one credit investment in the store until at least level 30. Okay, I was thinking 20. Jules says 30, and I think the more I've thought about that and looked at his math over the last 2 days, he's right. Dive bar 30. That has to be your number one priority. Dive bar 30, number one priority. Don't stop pulling this. Okay? If you're looking at pulling Borg Sphere blueprints, you pull building parts first. Retrieving says 30. Yes. I thought it was 20. In fairness, I did probably recommend 20 on day one. Jules came out and actually said on day one, he said he liked 30 better than 20. And I believe the math supports that.
Yes, I will actually. Yes, I'm here. I think the math supports that for certain ops ranges. I think the lower ops ranges, you're going to struggle with credits just because you're a lower ops range. That has nothing to do with where your dive bar is at. So if you can get it to level 30 first, that allows you to get another task in, which is going to give you more of those credits, and then you'll have some to spare.
You got it.
So I think if you're pretty new into this loop, I think the sphere, we've been talking a lot about what the benefits of the sphere are. They're definitely going to be later on in your ops range. So if you're still in G5 and you're starting this faction, that's why I personally thought the math would work a little bit better, bringing that up to level 30 before diverting any. But I don't know. I think that your idea of getting it to 20 for higher ops players actually makes more sense.
Well, that's interesting because I was kind of leaning towards your side. Now you're coming back to mine. Let's look at the math. As an ops 72, that extra dive bar, getting the dive bar to 30, is only going to pay me 2,600 credits a week. Right here's the math. That second key that comes at dive bar 30 comes to 2,640 credits a week. What will my sphere task give? I keep losing what page this is on. Here we go. I would have to have the sphere at tier 4 before it becomes more profitable than dive bar 30. So I still think Jules is right.
That's not my math there. It's how much can you actually purchase in the store while getting your sphere blueprints.
This
Like if you're free to play, you're not buying the show, you're not buying the ship day one or even week one or ever, then you're looking at this being like, okay, well, what's my priority right now? I think if you're low ops, then you're not making enough of the credits, regardless, because of your ops range, because all of these tasks are based on your ops range, all the rewards are based on your ops range. So you're just not getting the credits to spend the 500 a day.
Yeah. Let's look at, say, Ops 61. Let's look at Ops 61. And we're also going to drop these down. We decided that milestone 4 on the Alliance was good. We're going to go milestone 5 on the solo. Dive bar 30, we're going to assume completion on the materials. And then on the Alliance one, let's drop it down to what? Milestone 3? Is that what you guys were thinking? Ah, there's retrieving. We were working on this the other night and you weren't here. I know we wanted to change it down. Do you think 4?
Are you doing a free to play? Because if you're doing free to play, I would do dive bar level 20. That's where you probably.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm talking about the value. Right now, what I'm doing is comparing the value between going to 20 and 30. Like dive bar, right? Do I start buying sphere blueprints right now at 20 or 30? That was the question in chat. I want to look at the actual delta in credits from 20 to 30. I will turn this off here in just a second, but I wanted to look at the delta in credits that you would get by having dive bar 20 versus 30. The only difference there is going to be 2,300 in a week. Okay, 2,300. That's how many I would earn if I was at dive bar 30 as compared to 20. Is only a delta of 2,300 credits per week. So if I was going to not go to 30, I'm going to lose 2,300 a week. It's going to get me to 11,750. 11,750 divided by 7 is roughly 1,600 a day. And yes, I can afford to pull 1 blueprint and 1 building pull each day with 2 blueprints 1 time a week. Did I do that math right? That would be 1,000, 7,000 times 7 minus 7,000. No, I'd be able to pull it twice. So what would that be? That would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blueprints per week. How long would that take? 9 blueprints per week. No, retrieving. The solo scoring is not the same for all ops. Remember, we talked about this the other night, man. You got to just punch down one. The only people who can't do it is Ops 55. Every other ops in the game can actually punch down 1 level. That's on this chart. We did this. We talked about this the other night. Remember, man. Remember. I don't remember. Here we go. System map. Is it on this one, Jules? Nope. Nope. Not that one. Let me find it. Let me zoom out. That way I can see more. The chart for
what?
For the armadas. What you had to hit to do the tasks. Here we go. Maverick tasks. Right? Is that where it is? Yep. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry. I'll put this in the graphics room too. Sorry for those in podcasts. I'm flailing around a little bit. Okay. Right here. I'm only going to go up to Ops 76. There's nobody else in the galaxy. The timestamp is 10:27 p.m. Eastern time. That screenshot is in there. Okay. So here is all of the points. Okay. Here is all of the points that you can get. You earn 7 starts a week. And you need to get to milestone 5, which is what we're using over here in the calculator. Milestone 5. You have to kill 7, which means you can punch down and still get 280 points. Okay? If you wanted to complete it, that's inside this red bar, but we don't. We're picking milestone 5 because we're allowing some grace, right? So milestone 5 is only 250 points. If I kill 7 at 40 points, what is my total number of points? It's 280 points. If I kill 7 at 40 points, it's 280 points. That means I can get to milestone 5 by killing 7 level 60s. Okay? So when I come back over here and I'm looking at this calculator, I'm using milestone number 5, which I feel like I can do with 7 starts, and earn 11,730. Now, with 11,730 in a week, I am going to automatically spend 3,500 of that on building parts. Right? 500 per day, 7 days. So 1,100 or 11,730. We're going to take 3,500 out. Now I got 8,200 credits left. Okay? I got 8,200 credits left for the week. If I was going to spend 500 on 5 days, that's 2,500 credits. And that is 5 blueprints of the sphere. Actually, I might be able to do, let's see, we got 8,230 divided by 2,000. Yeah, I could do 10 blueprints a week. Is that right? 10 blueprints a week. 20 weeks.
20 weeks.
20 weeks. Right there, the math supports that. By the way, the math supports that without buying anything else. This is the sacrifice.
Which is how many days?
What is that? 140. 140. Okay. So, hey, we just shaved 10 days off. Okay. We just shaved 10 days off. And actually, there's going to be a little bit left over here because you're going to have minus 4,500. You're actually going to have 1,700 a week left. You know, you might be able to do 11 a week. Let me see. If you did, what was the number? 8,230 minus 1,500 and then 6,000. That would be 3 plus 8. That's 11 per week. You could actually do 11 per week and pull your building every single day. If your dive bar 20, doing milestone 5 solo, milestone 4 as an alliance, and milestone 3 on the grinding alliance. That's it. Okay. Chaos says you have to take the solo task off. No, I've got one solo task in there. That's dive bar level 20. That's dive bar level 20, and most free-to-play should either be there already or there within a day or two. Okay? Dive bar level 20, everybody is, if they've been playing for the last 30 days. All right? So 11 per week, 200 divided by 11, 18 weeks times 7 days. We're down to 130 days. We're down to 130 days. Okay? Now, that means I'm not pulling anything else. Building parts, sphere blueprints. That's it. Okay? That's all I'm pulling. As a matter of fact, I'll have 700 credits a week left over. That's it. That's enough for like one pull somewhere. You know?
No, every other week you get an extra blueprint. And so that will reduce it by another. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Every other week you could get a second, 2 extra blueprints. So that's actually 1 extra blueprint a week. Could you average that out and say 12 a week now then, Putz? Would that be fair?
Yeah.
Divided by 12, 16.67 weeks times 7. Now we're down to 117 days. All right. So, I mean, that's why I'm saying this is possible. When we're looking at these milestones, and by the way, there's no monetization here. Yo, dude, we're actually talking about free to play now. Okay? We're talking free to play right now. Nothing spent. Not the sphere, not nothing. This is complete free to play. 117 days. Yes, retrieving. 117 days pulling 1 building pull a day and the rest just sphere blueprints. Retrieving says it doesn't math. We just did it. Just did it. You're right. No research. Do I need the research? Do G5s need the research? Let's take a look at the research matters.
Well, this is a G6. Yeah, I mean, you set it to a G6 ops level.
Ops 61. But okay, let's look at the research.
6.
What do I need at Ops 61? Do I need Apex Shred? Probably.
Yes.
What do I need? One of those? Okay.
Omicron
says
I would.
It didn't retrieving. They do need that. Okay. So let's add, how many particles is the first level? How many particles was the first level of this?
The shred, it was like 1,500, but to get there, it was like $6,000 to get all the way there, something like that, close.
6,000. And let's go back to the store. Riskbreaker says you wouldn't for G5. Well, in fairness, I'm doing it for 61. I'm doing it for Ops 61, so they're going to need it. They're going to need the first level. So 6,000 particles, is that what you said? Mimi says 7,200. Perfect. Okay. 7,200.
I was ballparking it, yeah.
7,200 to get to the first level. That's a lot. Divided by 360. That's 20 pulls times 850. That's going to take a minute, ain't it, Putz? You said 7,200, Mimi?
It is, but we've already had 28 days or so of working this Maverick loop. So
well, that's true.
You should,
It also gets them in the tasks.
Yeah, I would say that my guess is that you've got to be at least 3/4 of the way there for even a lower end G6. Most probably G6 players are at least to the first level, in my opinion.
Okay.
If they've been,
it's not that.
So let's try to loosely math it. What would you say? How many particles do I still need from today moving forward?
I would say, let's say on average 2,500. The average player may need 2,500 more to get particles to get to there.
All right.
The average player would have it already.
I'm going to go with Putz on this one. So 7 more pulls times 850. So 6,000 credits will get you there. So, okay. Hey, easy peasy. 6,000 credits will get you there. Delay starting your Borg Sphere for 5 days. That's it.
Oh, absolutely. I would be single pulling my Borg Sphere until I got my research to where I need it to be to that I am hitting the level of these new armadas that I'm able to get to at least level 5, a milestone 5 of my solo. And that means also having the building at level 20. If you have all of those, then you should be definitely double pulling for the ship.
Well, double pulling when you can. You're not going to be able to do it every single day.
Yeah.
Okay. So
darn near. We're close. We're 12 out of 14, right? We're only missing 2 double pulls from our math right now.
3. I thought it was 3. I think we were doing 3 single pulls, right?
So either way, we're rather close, right? We're only $3,000 in credits away a week from getting all 3. Yeah.
Retrieving must have missed the middle 4 minutes here. So we're going to do the math again super quick. All right. So let's pretend that you do need to wait 1 more week. That you're going to have to wait 1 more week before you start doing your blueprints. Okay. I'm totally fine with that. We'll start this in a week. Get your 7,200 research particles. Okay. That's it. And be done. Okay. I agree with Putz. Get the first level of Apex Shred that you got to get. Got to have it. Okay. Now, from here, Op 61, dive bar level 20. We're doing milestone 4 on the Alliance retrieving, milestone 5 on the solo, milestone 7 on the Alliance material, and milestone 3 on the Alliance grind. Okay? That's going to get me 11,730 credits per week. 11,730. I am done with research now. Okay? I got my 7,200 particles. I'm done with research. I'm still going to work on the building because I want to get the building to level 30. The building pull is going to cost me 3,500 credits a week. So I'm at 11,730 minus 3,500. Andy says, are people at bar 20 free to play? Either there now or within a day or 2. Largely, yes. Not everybody, but they should be there within a day or 2. Okay? And again, I'm not going to change this math on a day or 2, just like the research particles. If Putz is right and you only need 2,500, then you could literally delay starting on your Borg Sphere for like 1 week and have those particles. You know what I'm saying? It's only a 22-hour cooldown. So this is for dive bar 20. Okay? 11,730. We're going to spend 3,500 of those credits every single week on building parts. That's going to leave me 8,230. 8,230. If I'm going to take those 8,230 and spend the rest on Borg Cube, Sphere blueprints, okay? The rest on Sphere blueprints. I am going to, let's say, if I did 3 single pulls, that's 1,500. If I did 4 double pulls, that's 6,000, right? That is a total of 7,500 per week. 15 into 3 single pulls, and then 4 double pulls at 1,500 apiece. That's 6,000. 7,500 credits. That's going to leave me 730, which is where Putz just said a second ago. We're going to call it an extra double pull. No, you're not going to be able to do an extra double pull. Wait, maybe you can. Hang on. 11. Yeah. Hang on. Putz is right. We might have just shaved another couple of days. Hang on. Minus 3,500 for building parts. 11,730 minus 3,500. If I did 2 single pulls, that's 1,000. And then 5 double pulls is 7,500. That's 8,500. Yeah, you're right, Putz. It's going to be 2 single and 5 double in week 1. Then it's going to be 3 single, 4 double in week 2, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you can repeat that. And then I think at least once, maybe twice through the entire cycle, you will get 1 extra double pull somewhere, just with the rounding and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, totally right, Sec. That's exactly right. That means keeping the officers at tier 1 for 100 days. Yes, it does. That's what I'm talking about. Sacrifice. But now hold on. Isn't one of the things that I've been hearing lately is the officers aren't worth it? By the way, that's not a general statement, but some people say that. If you're one of those people that say that, then you don't worry about the officers. Who cares?
The officers are very good, but they aren't necessary for sub G7 players.
And a lot of G7 players
as high as they can reach.
And a lot of G7 players that say that G7 doesn't need them anyway. I like the idea of these officers, but I don't have them now. I don't think it's needed. Okay. So now we're talking 2 single pulls, 5 double pulls, then 3 single pulls and 4 double pulls. What is that on a 14-day cycle, Putz? 2 and 5 is 10. That's 12 in the first week. And then 3 and 8 is 11 in the second week. So technically it's 23 blueprints in 14 days. Am I mathing that right?
You are. Yes.
Sounds right.
Okay. 23 blueprints in 14 days. This is going to be tricky. I'm going to do 200 divided by 23. That's 8.7 cycles. But then, Tarpy, just to make sure I put that back in weeks, I'm going to multiply that by 2, right? 17.39 weeks times 7 days. We've got it down to 122 days retrieving. We got it down to 122 days to get your cube, and you guys have the income now to do that. If you follow that strategy, that pattern. And by the way, we're talking still pulling your building every single day, because dive bar 30 is important. And by the way, when you get dive bar 30, this whole model speeds up by another 2,300 credits a week. At dive bar 30, Putz, golly, can we actually double pull every day if we just did building? All right, we're at 14,030 minus 3,500. What is 7 times 1,500? 10,500?
10,500. Yeah.
Ah! Now we're at double pulls every day. Now you're at double pulls every day.
I'm actually impressed you did math.
Hey, Jules says my math is good. Woohoo! All right.
No, he said he was impressed. He didn't say it was right.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't be impressed if it was wrong. Okay. Twab says only 0.5% of the players will remember this strategy. Actually, it's a super easy strategy. Building parts, that's it. Building only. Building parts only. Then sphere. That's it. Okay? That's it. So when we're talking about, and this is why I bring this all the way back to the beginning. What's important to you? What's important to you? Tearing up the officers? Forgotten Sex says opportunity cost is not trivial. Well, is it an actual opportunity cost if you don't care about the officers? What else? I mean, people are saying now that the store doesn't provide enough value. What is the other thing you want to spend credits on? I mean, it certainly shouldn't be ship parts. Those bundles suck. Okay? That's like an end game mechanic. All right? And by the way, Retrieving points out that that's roughly 95 days minus events. Holy shnikes. Did we just get it under 100 days? No, I don't think technically. Because you still, even if you double pulled it every day, that's 2 blueprints a day. You'd have to do it at 100 days. Why, did we get some in missions or something? Or are you guys counting some that you've already got? Did you count some? Yeah, there's no way to mathematically get it under 100 unless there was some in missions or something like that. Now, Caledon says, hey, I'm not asking for much. I just wanted to get to tier 10 and not do it in 400 days. I think that's realistic too, dude. It's 400 days natively by the drip. We all know what's going to happen. There's going to be more parts that show up later. There's going to be Ferengi stores where you're going to have limit 10. There's going to be other little things, whatever they do in the future, that's going to do more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's not going to be 400 days. It might be 300, might be 250. It's still going to take time. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight, but it will accelerate. We see it every single time. Yeah, maybe tournaments, right? Maybe they show up in tournaments. God, that would be great. Okay? That would be perfect. So here's what I'm saying. I know Yo-Yo Dude is mad, and somebody else got mad at me earlier because they think that I'm shilling. No, here's what I've heard. This is what I've heard for 2 whole days. And I want the math to back it up. And here's the thing. This, for the record, I still agree that this is a crappy thing. I'm fine with 100 days. Honestly, fine with 100 days. You know what it should have been? It should have been a free blueprint drip every 2 days. Or, I mean, every day, get 2 blueprints for free. Like, there shouldn't have been any of this credit crap. If you wanted to time gate it 100 days, do that. Okay? This, to me, is a little bit complicated. But because players are missing it, because it is so complicated that players are missing it, that's why I wanted to math it. Okay? That's why I wanted to math it. The biggest complaints that I've heard is 200 days or even 150 on the ship. Well, it doesn't have to be. The credit income is there. We just have to choose. But we don't have to. We also, it depends on what we want to choose. Jules and I both agree. The number one priority in this store is the dive bar building parts. That's it. That's the number one priority. If we take the officers, Forgotten Sec, and we set them to the side. And by the way, we did account for the research. Okay? We're saying basically at this point, you probably need roughly 2,500 more of those credits. Wait 1 more week before you start. Okay? Wait 1 more week before you start. Finish the research. Then start this new path. You see? And so we're acknowledging the building. We're acknowledging the research. What else you got? V'ger particles? Nah, let that go. Okay? Especially if you're a G6 player. You don't need that yet. Okay? What else? What else we got? Ship parts? Let that go. What else you got? Zephram Cochrane? Let that go for right now. You can come back to it later. That's endgame stuff. Okay? Fuel the loop first. Get your efficiencies done first, right? Isn't that how we always like to do it? Then, once you get the sphere, well, then it just opens up. Okay. Now you're earning the extra Maverick credits. You're earning the extra Prime that you can come back and get a couple thousand here. Then you're going to get a couple thousand over here. And then you start buying more stuff. Now, Retrieving says, DJ, what about this? And I love this, by the way, Retrieving, this back and forth over the last 3 days. Because your math is good. And I've tried to get my math to line up with yours. So I think we're on the same page. He says, DJs, in 4 months, are Ops 61 still going to be 61? Ha! Good question. You're right. So maybe we need to add 10 days buffer back in here. Because what is our research pool? And by the way, still a choice, right? Still a choice. The research pool is going to be... So how many more particles do you need to, say, go between Ops 61 and 62? Just guessing. I don't know. Is the math there? Do we have the math on that?
To be honest with you, I mean, yeah, you could, but I don't know if you need any more than the initial research level ones until maybe you get to maybe Ops 65, 66.
Okay.
And then maybe I would budget another 5.
Shiz says, we talk about choices, but at some point the choice is, why keep playing? I mean, don't some of us ask that question every single day? That's actually really funny. Sad thing is, I don't think he was actually trying to tell a joke, but that was funny. All right. That was a good one. Pow. All right. Yeah, Naz says, I actually did make that choice. All right. Hey, Don Zeno, thank you for your resub. I appreciate you, man. Also, General Darkfire, thank you. Goblin King, thank you. Lost Soul, Dzus, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys for your resubs. So, Retrieving, yeah, maybe you have to add a couple days back buffer. Let's say, I don't know, that it's, Putz says you might not need any more, but if you did need a couple of more, what would you think, Retrieving? I see your math here in Discord. If you were to get Apex Shred to level 2, it would require an extra 5,200 particles. Okay, 5,200 particles.
Hey, I ballparked it at 5K, so I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, that's not bad. He says 5,220 particles. So let's say 5,220 divided by 360. That's 14 days of single pulls. And when you're doing your single pulls, you're going to have to change your double pulls of Sphere down to single pulls. So that's going to cost you 14 days if you chose to do that. And we were at 118 days. So add 14. Now you're at 132. Okay, 132. So still very much on this side. Wait, was it 122? Hang on, let me look at my calculator history. We had to go back. We were at 116, well, 117. We were at 117, but I think you guys said to give it a couple of days grace, like for forgetting polls or whatever. So right here, we're at 117 days. If you were perfect and you added 14 back, and actually technically it'd be 15, you'd be at 132 plus whatever buffer you need. But mathematically, you could still pull it off in 132. And that, by the way, is only if you choose to come back and pick up the research. Maybe you're like Putz and you don't have to. All right. So if you had to pull up an extra 5,200 research credits, you would add 14 days. And that's if you had to do that. You might be okay hitting what you're at now. And you might find that depending on what ops you are. We actually did this math for Ops 61. That math will actually hold all the way to 63. So it would depend on your account ship and research. Totally agree with that. Okay. Absolutely agree with that. But if you were going from Ops 61 to 63, the actual math doesn't change because you can still hit the 60s. If you went from 61 to 63, you're actually perfect because your math never changes off of hitting the 60s. If anything, it gets you perfect going back to the 62s. Retrieving says this doesn't take into account Jules's 5-9. No, I'm not doing 7. I actually am giving you buffer there too, Retrieving, because I'm only accounting for 5 every week. I'm only accounting for 5 every week. And you're right, using Jules's method, every other week, you'd actually be able to get 7, and there's a few extra credits. So if you were able to do 5 and 7, if you were able to do 5 and 7, then you're also getting extra credits. You might have enough there. Let's take a look at that one. If you did 5 one week, lost my calculator again. Okay, if you did 5 in 1 week and then 7 the next week, that's 4,000 extra credits, 2,000 a week. There's another double pull. So, yeah, when we did this math originally, you said you wanted to do it based on the 5. But if you were able to do Jules's method and you did a 5-7, okay, well, then you're there. And by the way, when I say a 5-7, I mean 5 milestone, 7 milestone, because you're doing the 5-9 method with the starts. Okay? So, I mean, yeah. Don't you need to spend on Borg Solo Armada directives? I did have the prime selected. Hang on. Let me turn that off. So that would change 5 to 7 would be 42 to 68. That is 2,600, not 4,000. Thank you. Thank you, Zach. Yeah, and the directives are free. Okay, so now Gobbler says you've done all this math. What's in the store? What's all the effort? Well, one would argue on the effort. There's been more effort on the math than there has been in this loop. All right. What is that effort for? Well, like I said, for me, it's the prime and extra Maverick credits for officers. For officers. That's the big thing for me. And these, where are they? The V'ger particles, for me, G7 prime efficiency. If you're up 61, 62, 63, that probably doesn't matter to you yet. All right. But it will eventually. That's a long-term payoff. That's more of a short-term payoff for me. Okay. Also, the other thing that I will eventually like is, if I'm not mistaken, the Phoenix thruster. Throwing that out there.
Giggity.
Giggity. Hey, listen, it ain't no secret. G5 scrapping's coming eventually. So the Phoenix thruster, I'll look for that one. The cockpit, yeah, I'll probably do that. 7,500% damage in PvP. Probably not going to help me. Probably still be squishy as hell, but I'll give it a go. Okay. Cochrane's music disc, base isolated damage, 2,000. Yeah, that'll have some value for me as a G7. I'm going to come down here. I do like Cochrane's telescope, apex barrier, 1,500 or 15,000. That again is G7. So a lot of this stuff has some future value for me. Listen, it's going to take me ages to build a G7 ship. All right. This is going to be important to me eventually. Gobbler says, what about G6? Well, officers or an as MJ says, an investment to the future. I mean, and by the way, listen, maybe, I don't know. Okay. As a G6, where are you on your aggregation loop? Maybe you need a little bit of help there. I mean, by the way, I wouldn't recommend this. Okay. I wouldn't recommend the crash and burn jukebox, but maybe you hate aggregation. Maybe any loot bonus over there is easy, and if you got the credits, might as well spend them. I don't know. That's not for me. Could be for you. Okay. The optical chip reader is for the brand new Priority 1 ATAs. Maybe you hate doing those. I don't know. That's not for me. Could be for somebody else. I have no idea. Okay. Recon Locus. That's important to everybody. Okay. And by the way, Mars Sport, I'm not talking about $200. We did all this free to play. Take out the $200. Take out the $200. Okay. We just did this whole math free to play. The whole math we just did free to play. Okay. Those credits, maybe you want Transigen forged things. Maybe. Maybe, Divine says, as a G6, you do want the ship parts. Maybe. I mean, the chances aren't bad. You know what I don't like about the ship parts? Is that they're random. I love the Junker bundle because you get to choose which one you want. You know what I'm saying? I love that one.
Sphere ones aren't as random anyway. The non-sphere ones are complete chance. But
Yeah.
the sphere ones are minimum number plus chance at more, which I
Yeah.
actually like.
Okay. Well,
And you know what ship type you get.
yeah, there you go. All right. So there's some of that. Ship parts are always good. I do like the junker parts better than I do these, but hey, more is more. Okay. If you're looking for
Okay.
ways to spend your credits, I mean, there's ways. Okay. Now,
Yeah, there's not. There should be more parts, but
agreed.
it's fine.
It should be junker-esque, I think. It should be junker-esque. Okay. Maybe. Hey, you know what? Strange New Worlds and Benga, not a bad officer. Not a bad officer to have it all. Matters. I don't know if you would call him A tier, B tier. Where is Strange New Worlds, Black Ops, and Benga? Does he have any value to anybody? Maybe I'm wrong, but I've heard people talk about him before.
Black Ops and Benga? No.
Okay, never mind. Strange New Worlds, Montgomery Scott. Anything? Anything?
Yeah, he's good on a squall.
Okay. Squall. Oh, okay. Mimi says he's like D tier. Okay, let that one go. Montgomery Scott. Okay, maybe a little bit. Maybe. Cochrane's Music Disc. That's a G7 one because that's against Open Armadas. Veil Shards. Hey, Dauntless Research. Now, even I'm not done with Dauntless Research. Of course, I'm slow.
I think that's another G7 one that's kind of sneaky because of that. Yes, ish. I think keeping up with the research for how slow the Dauntless is to tier is not that challenging because you'll get more research parts than you will parts for it. And by the time you get to G7 and you want to do your vengeance efficiency, you need a lot of those parts to do the rep pulls and the preceding reputation thing and the vengeance efficiency.
Oh, hey,
so that's also a G7 kind of nod.
Okay, fair enough. I definitely need them. I'll look forward to those when I get them. So that could be a G7. There's good old-fashioned reputation. That's Sphere. So let's skip on Sphere. Reputation is never a bad thing. Again, this is a wide berth. You do also have these uncommon choice artifact tokens. Again, a lot of advanced players are probably going to be done with most of those, but newer players maybe not. All right. But these are not bad. All right. Those get to be spent over in the Transigen refinery, I believe, Tarpy. No, aggregation refinery.
No, the artifact pulls,
it is Transigen. Yep, it is Transigen. I was close. Here we go. Transigen artifact.
You won't see it because you're done. That dropped out of your store. It would be right next to that artifact choice rare.
Rare, yeah.
It would say artifact choice uncommon.
So again,
so once you max each of those, it will go away.
Yeah, I'm done, but a G5 or G6 may not be.
I wish they would have put the rare ones in there.
Yeah, that would have been cool because look, I'm obviously not done. I still got a bunch of those. Okay. So, and again, this is only if you're wanting other places to spend those credits on. That's not my recommendation. You know, my recommendation is to chase and unlock your sphere because even then, once you get the sphere, then you are going to start to accumulate some credits where you can spend on these other things, and you're also going to then get the epic credits. Well, now what are we going to spend on the epic credits? The epic credits, as Tarpy pointed out, are going to actually be a little bit better on the parts. At least you can choose. Still crappy. Still crappy on the number of parts. I'm hoping, again, that it gets very Junker-esque and will scale up really nicely. Do we know what this is at, like, say, tier 12 yet? I'm just curious. I don't know.
Not in the...
Oh, I didn't even think. Are they in here? Maverick... Store.
Did you try clicking the info button?
Why would we actually look in game for information
matters.
when it's always in Jules' chart?
Matters.
Also, God. Yes, it is in Jules' chart.
Because it's on the info button. Okay, so tier 10, 72 rare parts. You know, I probably shouldn't complain about 72 rare parts. to be honest with you. Wait, these are all G6.
What?
Wait.
Yeah,
wait.
you're not looking at
I'm not looking at the right one. Hang on. I want the G7
It's worse. It's worse.
G7.
21.
Well, by the way, no, you know what? In fairness, the chat, that's why I looked at G6, because the chat was asking about G6, not G7. So, hey, listen, by the time you get that sphere tiered up a little bit, I mean, those aren't terrible parts. I can tell you now, I still need, at G7, I still need G6 interceptor parts. Uncommon and rare, not one or the other, both, okay? So that helps a little bit. That's not a bad thing, okay? So parts when you start getting the sphere. Let's see, what else when you get the sphere? You could pull.
Just a reminder, there's a 1 chest, a 2 chest, and a 3 chest. So if you're hyper focused on where those are coming from, you could triple pull that chest.
There you go. All right, I can sink a lot of currency into that. Serene Squall, part efficiency, maybe. We've seen things like that with the exos in the past. So, I mean, if you wanted to, spend currency on that, I guess you could. I don't know. I don't think I would recommend that. You got the ship parts. Let's see what else you have. You've got brand new stuff down here. The exosuit helmet, isolated defense. Okay, it's 500%. I think that's a little meh. Yock'em Rock'em Jock'em does that already. Okay, so
yeah.
Cochrane's telescope. I like that, but that's for G7 for sure. That's for G7. Borg Sphere tier 4. That's for the jump. I thought that was that a grindy thing? I thought that just unlocked at tier 4, Jules.
No, it does.
Well, it might just be
tier
a
4.
claim.
Oh, I see it.
It's
It
a
says,
claim.
yeah, it says 120. I'm an idiot. Let's see. What else?
Can I just point out that your sphere is unlikely to get to tier 6 before you get to the end of level
2027.
1 of the rep in that faction. So the exosuit just seems like it has weird prereqs because you need tier 6 of the cube or sphere plus Maverick faction store rank 1. So like literally you just start the faction store.
Oh, yeah.
But you need to get the ship to tier 6. Like it's just a weird
looks like
prereq.
Yeah, it looks like most of these are round. Maybe that prereq is there just to like you have to be in the Maverick faction. Do you remember during the playtest when I didn't have Maverick faction unlocked, but then none of my bundles showed up? Maybe that's just one of those. You got to get into the Maverick faction in order for stuff to show up.
Well, you got to have the sphere. You can't
Fair point.
get the sphere without the faction.
Fair point.
So,
all right. So yeah, that one seems a little weird. You know what? I would chalk that one up to the same thing Mord says. By the time I get the sphere to tier 11, do I really need building parts? I think this is off. I would really like to see. To be honest with you, I would like to see both building and reputation. I kind of feel like that needs to be on unlock, man. I feel like that needs to be like tier 1, tier 2. And I might actually bring that up because I feel like that's weird placement for both of those items. By the time you got the sphere to tier 11, your rep's probably going to be maxed. Where does this thing max out? Like 1 million or 2 million, something like that?
That's not rep. That's the research particle.
That's research particle. Yeah, it's research. Well, either way,
so
I'm going to be done with the research by tier 11 too.
Well, no. Look at the costs first. Like go to the research tab at the bottom of that Maverick faction tab sheet.
Yes.
I'm just literally looking at the research one, and I'm looking at the column that says Maverick peripherally words.
600,000.
The column with how much they cost. 600,000 is the amount that you're going to need
but that's
total by the time that you're ops 80. So there's some ops locks in there. But look here, because I think you're looking at about where I am. And if you look at the box that I just highlighted, that is 37,000
for one.
And we have had no efficiencies ish yet because is that one of the 3 primes that I don't remember?
No.
But
no.
That has so that will take a month at tier 11 to get.
Fine.
Just that one.
So
tier 11's G7, right? That's like the G7 level spheres. So
well into it. But again, the point is you still need
bunches
research
and bunches.
particles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
At
I
that
could get
point.
behind that. Maybe even the building parts. That I don't know. But personally, this is exactly what. Who was it? Hang on. I'm going to scroll through chat. Was it Goblin? I'm sorry. I don't remember your name now. Gobbler? No, one Gobbler. Who was it that was asking the questions about what is there for G6? I'm so sorry. I'm scrolling chat. I can't.
Me?
It
And
wasn't you.
y'all, this is a lot of
I
either
mean,
looking
somebody else did,
behind
but
or looking very, very far ahead. And I think where a lot of players are in the game is it's very hard to look that far ahead when in some ways 2 hours is a long time to wait in this game for reset or something like that. But looking at 100 days or 140 days or 120 days to unlock the ship, plus then another 100 days to make it pretty useful and get its CT and its FT and start working on anything else.
Well, let's talk about the CT and the FT. Garbage.
But
yeah.
they only,
Well,
part of it is because they were intentionally designed this way to work on just that sphere. You can put them on other things, but they won't do anything for you.
Well, yeah. That's something we don't even really need to pay attention to. I think, and somebody said, okay, what am I going to spend all those credits on? Maybe by the time I get the sphere to tier 6, tier 7, maybe then I'll start to think about upgrading the chaos tech because I don't need it till then.
Hey, what's the ops lock? What's the ops lock on that thing?
66. It's 66 on acquiring it. But, I mean, you still don't need it in G6. You don't need it until G7. You don't need it until 71, and you can actually start earning it at 66. So at least they kind of thought that through. You got 6 ops levels or 5 ops levels between when you can get it, between then and when you actually might need it. And I say might. I don't think you're going to need it until probably tier 6, tier 7. As a matter of fact, when can I actually start killing level 71s? Is it tier 10? Or is it tier 7?
Earlier than that. If
Okay.
you want
10.
to.
If you want to.
Well, you
have
could,
to
you
is-
could kill them earlier.
Okay, so yeah, probably tier
You could
7.
try.
Probably tier 7 is before you even have to even consider the chaos tech. So yeah, that's a future thing. That's a down the road thing. I don't need to worry about that right now. That's a later thing. I'll do that later. Okay. So
Well, but it's not going to be very helpful if you wait until you need it
I'll tell you why.
to unlock it.
Well, no, I didn't say unlock.
Because it's garbage at early tiers. Oh,
Well,
okay.
I didn't say unlock. I do think that you could spend some of your credits there. It doesn't need to be a priority, but yeah, you also have a cooldown to deal with there, so plan appropriately. Okay. You got a cooldown on the parts and the upgrade materials, so plan appropriately. But I do think that is something that you would eventually be helpful with. And the biggest reason for that is not because of the benefit that it offers. It's the number of hostiles that you actually have to kill. All right. And I think Quasel was doing this math. I want to check this because he said something that blew my mind. And I thought we had looked at this the other night. If I'm tier 7 on the cube, I can probably kill a level 71, right? A suppressor, 71. If I'm tier 7, I can kill 71. So 80,800 divided by 2,400. It's still only 40 hostiles. He said that there was something like 1,000 hostiles you had to hit. This didn't make sense to me, but I thought
if you hit the lowest level.
Well, nobody's going to hit the lowest level.
Well, some people might, because they don't buy anything, and they're way behind on everything. I mean, if you can argue for the people that are way behind everything, when I say nothing's useful, then let's argue for them.
I think
with what they can kill.
I think the cube. Damn it! I think the sphere is actually
Frank.
I think the sphere is actually powerful enough just to carry that. Lost In was using freaking Badgie on these things.
Okay,
Wow.
before we get too far into that, I want you to go into the Maverick task tab and scroll all the way to the right.
Okay. Okay. Oh, your sheet. Okay. Maverick task tab all the way to the right. Okay. Got it.
Okay, all the way to the right. Conqueror Borg hostile hunt with this little chart. Taking a look at the tier 10 plus, 71 plus mission.
Okay. Yeah. This is why Quasel was saying that right here. This is the exact thing he was talking about. I was going to say it didn't math in my head, but okay.
Okay. But here's the problem. it's 5,000 hostiles, or 4,600 hostiles if you're hitting level 71s. You're correct. Your sphere can hit higher. So 73s, 75s, well, now we're running into a warp range issue. If you are ops 71, you have an ops lock on the research node. You can't actually reach the 75s until you have research and development building level 73. So you are going to be stuck for those 2 ops ranges.
Thank you.
At 1,000 hostiles.
Thank you. This is exactly what Quasel was talking about earlier today, and I couldn't make sense of it. This is exactly what he was saying, and I'm like, wait, I thought we did the math on that. So it's not about the capability of the ship, it's the warp range. Got it.
Yeah.
I wonder if that ship with Grush, I mean, if Lost In was doing it with Becky, now granted, he's really powerful, but I'm wondering if a crap crew could do these. Slipstream.
Probably, but even with Grush, you can't reach there.
Oh, okay.
Even with Quantum Slipstream, even with Fleet Commander Kirk, you can't reach there.
So
is this why it's not an Explorer?
Even at tier 12, you can't reach there.
So you're killing 1,000 a week.
Yeah, so summon is the only way,
fun.
and summon with the Vengeance is the only way, because it's 3,500 warp to get to the level 75 hostiles.
There you go. So that's what Quasel was talking about. I knew he had to be right. I just didn't understand because we had done the math. It's a warp restriction. So this right here, A, is a design flaw. A. B, this may be where that chaos tech is going to help a great deal, because the chaos tech will literally cut that number by 67%. You'll get 3x points by hitting the obliterators, which, by the way, don't show up with super great reliability either. So you're going to have to hunt them. So it could end up taking just as much time. But you could actually get that number down to about 315 per week of obliterators, which is also terrible, actually, now that I say that out loud. That's really terrible, Jules.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you, and I think this was the Excelsior problem, right? Remember when that launched and it had both an ops and a tier restrictions, but then they've kind of figured out that it required you to hit 80s and no one could reach it because no one was ops 80 yet.
Yeah.
Well, they fixed that by fixing that research. However, here, I don't think they're going to fix it or change it in any way, shape, or form, because you're still able to complete the previous 4 tasks. And what you're losing out by not being able to finish that is 7% more regular Maverick credits. So it's like a tiny fraction in order to complete that. Now, you are losing out a lot more epic credits, which is a bigger deal for the Sphere options in the Maverick store. But in the end, like, it's not that big of a deal to miss out on this task until you're Op 73.
Okay.
So by the time that you get to a lot of this, you probably have a lot of the other stuff done too. So they might just have said, oh, so you might have a problem for a little while with 7% of your income. But if you have the Sphere to tier 10 plus, you probably have most of the rest of it handled.
Right. Or if we're talking to spenders right now, that are op 71 to 72, maybe don't rush to tier 10 just for this task.
Yeah, that would be the better thing. I mean, this clearly sounds like not malicious, just like poor math, poor design, but it is a small piece of that, and it is fixable at R&D 73. So
Divine.
Well, keep in mind also this is the last.
I'm not giving them an out, Pog.
Right?
It sounds like design problem, like, honestly.
Yeah,
but
this is
1,000 hostiles of specifically hitting the Borg Sphere hostile. That 1,000 a week is an issue.
That's a lot. Divine, I would never do it. I would never do it ever.
It's not a problem because it is the last and final task. You are probably not expected to get all the milestones done with a tier 10 Borg Sphere. You get some more milestones done.
That's fair too.
And as you tier your sphere up even more and get more warp range, you will get more milestones done. Because once you can clear this task, what is the point of tiering up your Borg Sphere?
True. Yeah, no, actually, you're probably exactly right on that. I mean, heck, we just did all of our math based on partial progression. Voltron says stretch goal. Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. We literally just did this entire set of math on obtaining the Borg cube with partial progression, right? Here, milestone 4, milestone 3, milestone 5. So, yeah, no, Matters is probably exactly right. That problem will solve itself at op 73, and then from 73 through 80, tier 10 cube, you're good. But yeah, they're definitely in fairness. Did I just say cube again? God bless. But you're right, Pong. There is definitely a small little design gap there, and I will agree.
Well, let's just also put this in perspective.
A little bit weird.
Swarm Eradicator requires you to kill 65 a day, and over the course of a week, that's 455 hostiles. That was the Swarm before there was Kirshara. So this is not necessarily people still do that.
There's a lot more to do now, though. I mean, in fairness, there's a lot more to do now than there used to be. So, but I digress. None of this is not a horrible issue. Okay? I mean, that's not a horrible issue either. So that's why I come back and say, if I'm going to be critical about something, and Jules, I'm going to come to you for summary, and Tarpy, you too. Because, by the way, I have super appreciated this. I was a little bit worried because Tarpy and I didn't have words. We had strong disagreement about this topic. And I was worried about how tonight was going to go, especially since I had my dumpster fire moment last week. I'm really pleased with how this conversation has went. So I appreciate it, and I thank everybody because... And by the way, this same kind of discourse has been on every piece of content I've seen. Some people like it, some people don't. And that's okay. If you see the value in it, do it. If you don't see the value, don't. That's all great. I support that. I love it. I love that players can decide for themselves without feeling forced. Yeah, this is for me or this is not. Love that. That being said, I want to kind of come back. My biggest, and I'm going to come to the panel for the final thoughts on this particular piece. My biggest problem with this whole thing is that it is 1 million. And by the way, I like complicated mechanics. How many times have you guys heard me say, I loved Voyager? I love that Voyager mechanic. I love the Mirror Universe mechanic. I like complicated mechanics. This mechanic is 1,000,000% over-engineered. Way over-engineered. I see people in the chat saying, okay, math is math. I get that. But Shiz says, the feeling is still bad. Now, Cruzito doesn't like feelings. He's a robot. But feelings matter, okay? The math might be good, but if we don't understand it, if the average player can't understand it, if it took me 3 hours to explain how to get the Borg cube in less than 200 days, then there's a problem. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is way over-engineered for something that could have been as simple as a freaking prime. Did I say cube again?
You sure did.
Frank, I think for every time that you say cube instead of sphere, that is a week where you don't vape.
I haven't vaped at all tonight.
What?
I haven't vaped at all tonight.
I thought you said bathe. I was like, why?
I'm also not going to bathe. You're correct. No, listen, I've stayed on camera the whole time tonight. I've intentionally not turned off the camera so nobody can accuse me of anything. I am, what are we at, Tarpy? 48 hours? Actually, that's not true. I did puff it a little bit yesterday.
You took the night. Yeah.
Yeah, I puffed it a little bit yesterday. So, but yeah, I'm 24 hours vape free, yo. Clark, I didn't even puff mine. I did throw it away. I puffed the guys at work. But I will keep bathing. But yeah, no, listen, you guys set it out there. Listen, I told you I could do it. Yes, that's right, Viper. It was the last hype train. You guys told me to give up vaping, and I did. I did. Are you flipping kidding me right now, Tricky, Zach, Pong? Shame on you, you naughty boys. I did. I puffed a vape from a coworker, but just one.
I just really want to point out, you said that on a podcast.
I know it.
Yeah.
Well, it's there forever.
Okay, chat, I would like to get your opinion for a moment. Before we go back to the Chaos Tech and the Forbidden Tech, both needing their own tier up currencies, How many hostels per day would you want to Kirshera for the next 200 days consistently in one area? What would be the consistent number of hostels that you would want to do?
I know.
0, 0. Okay, be reasonable.
Hang on,
if we had 1,000 hostels a week,
hang on.
what?
I know you're trying
What?
to drive a point against Divine here, but I'm not. I'm going to leave this point unexplored. And I'll tell you why. Because somebody may be okay grinding 1,000 in a week. There are people that hit the cap every day. How many of you guys always used to complain about the cap?
Oh, you.
Everybody used to say that they wanted bigger caps. People say, oh, I can grind 1,000 hostels. I hit the cap 3 times this week. If they can, they can.
Look at Manxman's comment. That should tell you
what's his comment.
The issue with grinding this type of loop with 1,000 expected in a week. He is one of the heaviest grinders that we know. He has been ahead of the curve, literally, not like you for behind the curve, in rep for
what grind?
G7.
What grind?
He is not wanting to grind this type of loop. 100.
No, he says he's already very tired of this grind. What grind? We're talking about a 71 tier 10 grind. You shouldn't have a grind right now, bro. Your grind right now should be like 30 hostels a week. Okay, there's not a grind yet until you get to tier 10 of the sphere. The mechanic of these 2 arcs. I mean, bro, we're talking 40 hostels a week. Aggregation? That's okay. Sure. Aggregation, fine. That's why I'm not doing it.
Yeah. And more the point is requiring something. So the mirror universe is optional. End of the day, that one is optional, perhaps except for Sundays, depending on how you want to feel about it. And if you choose to go do rep or speed ups in the mirror universe, that is your choice. But if you have a particular tier ship and you're at a particular ops, to be able to finish that task, that workload for you individually at that point is unfair compared to everyone else. That is the issue that I would have with that. Where 1,000 hostels for one segment of players, where that expectation is not the same across ops levels, that's the unfair part.
I'm gonna camp in Matters' corner on that one. Is that you'll get a couple of milestones, and when you tier up the ship and can hit bigger things, then you can clear more of those milestones, because you are still getting all 4 of the previous tasks. By going to tier 10, you're going to get an extra 1 or 2 milestones, so it's still more rewards, but you just have to go to tier 10 or R&D 73.
This is going to be one of those things where everyone is going to try and undo or like one up everyone else. Divine, the entire game is choice.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, chaos techs and their own currencies, DJs. How much do they cost? And is it a chance mechanic to tier them up or what?
I don't think any of the prototype forbidden techs or chaos techs are chance. They're all guaranteed. I have not looked at the cost. Yeah, I have not looked at the cost. I could refer to Jules on that.
Yeah, there's a breakdown on the spreadsheet.
Yeah, let's take a quick peek there. That will be under where, sir?
Well, you could scroll all the way to the right for the new tech costs, or there's a mini sheet in Sphere Additions.
Yeah.
Right under the store options. So up to you which way you want to do it.
Here we go. All right. So
Jules is giving DJs options on how to do it.
I love it.
Yeah. You want a small little chart, or do you want all the nerdy details?
Small little summary chart would be great.
Great. So the prototype forbidden tech. Well, you can see the cost here in the new tech options area. If you scroll down just a little bit more, it'll show you the upgrade costs. This will tell you which resources are used and for what levels. So just like with the prototype forbidden tech requiring multiple rarities to upgrade each one to different levels. And we saw this a lot with the recon locus building, and how as you tier that up, that actually gave you different prototype tech, and that became sort of the ops locks as you're upgrading these. Very similar design here, where somewhat of your ops locks are going to be come into play. one of the things that we've noticed is that Ops 61 is required for the rare upgrade material. So you can't even start upgrading the Chaos Tech until you're Ops 61. You can't tier it up until you're Ops 66. You can't get the epic level up stuff for the Chaos Tech until you're 71, and you can't get the tier up stuff until you're 76. But those will come in later levels.
What? Wait, I can't tier it beyond tier 1 until Ops 76?
No. Yeah. So if you look at the levels at the bottom, right? So if you look at the epic tier up stuff, the Borg Plexus,
okay. I can take it
levels
to tier,
50 through 60. So you can take it all
10.
the way up to
Okay, sorry.
essentially level 50.
I said that wrong, chat. I said that wrong. Nobody freak out. I misunderstood Jules. Nobody run with that. I could take it to tier 10. Holy smokes. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's what I heard, Alpaca. But I clearly was wrong. Okay, Jules, spell that out because I just gave half of our chat a mild cardiac infarction, please.
Okay. The interplexing beacon Chaos Tech. Well, you can unlock that in the store if you're tier 1 sphere and Ops 66 plus. At that same time, you'll have access to pull both rare level up stuff and the rare tier up stuff. Okay. The rare level up materials will get you through levels 1 through 25.
Okay.
Then you'll need the epic level up stuff. So if you are Ops 66, you can only get it to level 25. Once you get the epic level up stuff, you'll be able to take that all the way to level 50, essentially.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Then you'll, that requires Ops 71 to take it all the way up to level 50. Then you need to sit there and wait until you're Ops 76 to be able to then take that up further all the way to max. So if you look at the actual tag, and I don't have the breakdown of where those abilities stop, you cannot max the Chaos Tech until you're Ops 76. So taking a look at those abilities, and I don't have it up right now.
I'll pull it.
What does it look like for you at those different levels?
Okay, so let's just take
25 and 50 are the two different, like, basically ops brackets.
All right, so looking at the prototype forbidden tech first, we're going to go to level 25, which is tier 5.
I'll go level 20 on the prototype.
Okay, prototype level 20. Here you go. So you're looking at 250% warp speed, an apex shred of 750%. Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
Yes,
Apex
this is very good if you need it.
Yeah,
this is for G5. This is for G5 plus players. You'll be able to get here. Now take it to, let me just triple check some math here.
That's just FYI.
So that's 20.
That's pretty significant for the G6 hostiles. I don't think G5 you need it, but G6 that's actually really stout given the amount of
now take it to level 45.
Okay, 45 is tier 9. That's going to give you a 1250% shred and 120% reduction of critical damage and 110% increase of your own critical damage. Okay.
So that's the highest you can go for an Ops 66 to 70. And then you can max it at Ops 71. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. That is to get it to... That's for a G6. So Ops 61 to 65, that's how high you can get it. Max at Ops 66.
Okay. And that's 2,500% shred, 200% critical damage reduction, and 300% critical damage increase. I mean, that's not terrible as far as the prototype forbidden tech. I don't know how necessary it's going to be. Throwing that out there, I don't know how necessary it's going to be, but that's certainly...
It's to counter the abilities that it has, and then give you a little more oomph on top of that.
For the suppressors, yeah. These are, again, the prototype forbidden tech is for suppressors only. I mean, it'll work. Let me rephrase. It'll work on obliterators, but you still have to avoid the hypothermic decay on the obliterator. So this is primarily to assist you with suppressors. I don't think that that's bad. Okay? I don't think that's bad. That's going to provide some value, but, only if you really need it. Here's the rub. Let's take a look at the Chaos Tech interplexing beacon. Jules, give me our tier breaks on this one.
All right, so level 25.
Okay, level
That
25.
is, yeah, requiring level 25 still requires, so technically level 5. You can take it to level 5. You cannot tear it up for ops a 61 player, but I don't think that it's even an option to get. So if we go to 25, that will get you to the max that a G6 player can get it to. So ops 66 through 70 will be able to get it to here.
Worthless. 100% worthless. Do not even think about this chaos tech until ops 71. Is that what you're saying, Jules?
Okay.
Why have
Well, take it to
obliterators
50.
below 71?
Dumb. Dumb.
Why bother?
Dumb, dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Dumb. Why did we? Yeah, matters. Why did they even design them if nobody's even going to be able to hit them?
They should have
Okay, now
just
take
had
it to 50.
obliterators 71 plus.
This makes me want to vape right here, Tarpy. This
No.
right here. This is
Bad
what.
cat.
This is what causes me stress. Okay, tier level 50. All right. Still,
Ants, right?
Still womp womp. It's still womp womp. 75% stabilizer. I can hit 4 hostiles. I can hit 4. That's
Well,
still
chance
dumb.
wise.
Okay, that's still
you could-
bad.
Yeah.
I can kill 4 hostiles. 4. And by the way, this is for what ops? Now here, Jules, this is where I can cap out at what ops?
71 to 75.
So about that long-term content, DJ. So how do we feel about content that is really, really long-term before it's helpful?
But
We love it.
I don't have a problem with it. All right. But if I'm prioritizing, no, I don't. But I do think that this is dumb. The ops logs make it dumb. If they just let you grind it out, if I as an ops 66 could eventually max this thing out, fine. Or if the obliterators scaled, right? If the amount of hypothermic decay scaled just like it does in aggregation, then it would also be fine. But the fact that it's all 100% and then they've tier locked the amount of hypothermic that you can get, that's weird. That's so weird.
They're part of the ship progression, according to Shiz.
No, this is not. This is not. All right. This is have it or not. It's useless until it's maxed. Like honestly, until you get to 95. Sorry, no. Until you get to level 56, tier 12, level 56, this thing is useless. No, Pong, the hypothermic decay is 80% chance of 100% decay. Okay? So what this is going to do is it's always going to be an 80%, okay? But when you get to 100%, it doesn't matter. All right? It's an 80% chance for it to hit you with decay. But even if I get hit with decay and I've got 85% stabilizer, then I'm only taking 15% hull damage. Well, that still means that I'm going to only be able to kill 6 hostiles per hull, assuming that I get hit with hypothermic decay every single time. Mathematically, that still means at tier 12, level 55, on average, I'm going to get 8 hostiles per hull. This chaos tech is worthless until level 56. Until that number is 100%, it's worthless in my mind. Jules? Tarpy, you go first, and then Jules.
No, I was going to make a joke. I was going to say 80% of the time it's useless, 100% of the time.
Yes. Love it. Jules, this is aggravating. I don't think I remember seeing this before launch, or if I did, I overlooked it. This is dumb.
We never got this information.
Okay.
We very last minute got the cost of one chest per material, but we never got the contents of the materials, and we never got the ops logs. So this is not something we ever knew about.
You know what? LASIK is right. LASIK is right. I forgot about that. You're not going to ever hit 8 obliterators at a time. There's a spawn time. You're 1,000%. You're 1,000%. And honestly, if I hit 1 and I took 15% hull damage, if I'm hitting suppressors of the exact same level, I'm not taking hull damage. No, you're exactly right. I take that back. I do take it back. So let's roll this thing back. How much hull are you willing to lose on one hostile? LASIK is 100% right. I totally missed that. That actually completely nullifies the last 5 minutes of my ridicule. Because you're only going to get 1 or 2 per hull. Yeah, Tarpy, it does. You're only going to get 1 or 2 per run, period.
It depends
That
on
doesn't
how
help
you...
anyone below G7, though.
Do what?
Matters
Go
first.
back down to tier 5. Because that's what we're looking at for sub G7.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I was just going to say. You have to get it up above. You probably need it to be right here, roughly 65%. That would at least guarantee me to be able to hit 2. Tier 10, Jules, what ops level can I get to tier 9, level 45? 9, level 45. Where can I go?
71.
I would say that that's about where this chaos tech would become useful. However, if I'm going to pet a feather in my cap, I did say that the chaos tech probably wasn't going to be useful to anybody other than G7. I did say that.
Basically, how many people, and you've seen this happen in the Veil already, DJs, how many people just look for scouts by leaving ships in the system?
Lots of people do that.
So if the obliterators show up twice an hour-ish, it's somewhat reasonable that people could leave their ship in the system for someone to watch for the obliterators, and there's your task.
You're not going to be able to do it with just the obliterators, though. They're only 3x points. And as we looked at the chart, you would still need hundreds. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would still need...
Are you willing to take 15% hull damage just to eliminate 2 hostiles out of the total that you have to do? Because that's basically what you're doing.
Agreed.
Again, it depends on how you play. Because if you just leave it there and you look back every few minutes, then... Or you go through several systems. But again...
You know what?
People play differently.
That's true. So now I'm going to reverse my recant, and I'm going to say, you don't need the obliterators at all, and this still becomes a stupid chaos tech.
Yep. Like,
boy, we are on a roller coaster here tonight. We're on a roller coaster of worth, everybody. I mean, no, seriously, and this is why I love this conversation. Truthfully, this is how you know I'm not doing anything other than the math, okay? Like, this is how you know that this is true, honest conversation, because you're exactly right. Matters is right. You're not gonna take 15% or 20% hull damage for eliminating 2 suppressors off and then waiting 30 minutes. You're just gonna kill the suppressors and take no hull damage. Hell, you could use Kirshara and do it faster than you could do it with the obliterators. So, yeah, I'm back to the chaos tech being dumb.
So this is like the entire... This is like a lot of the content here is that it feels just, why should I want it? And what we want to feel is that we should want the content. We should want to unlock it. We should want to tier it. We should want to put in the effort to do that. And stuff like this, that, you know, you take 100 and something days to unlock the ship. You take another 100, well, I guess fewer than that days to unlock this thing. You look at it and say, this is useless. Why should I care about getting this?
Because
you shouldn't.
What? No. Don't. You see, this is what I don't want. I don't think you put everything together. Benny Hill says ignore loop. No. I think there are pieces of the loop that you can ignore. But there are other pieces of the loop that are more valuable. And if you can ignore certain pieces of the loop, then it allows you to double down on the pieces that are more valuable.
But that's kind of also making my point is we want there to be more of this loop that isn't feeling completely skippable.
I don't think the loop is completely skippable at all.
That's not what I'm saying either, but I would like more of the loop that feels more useful.
More rewards in the store.
Different ones, yeah.
Okay.
Like,
That's fair. That's completely fair. And Shelby says he does think like the entire loop is skippable, and it may be. Maybe for you, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm after it for G7 primes, but you're probably deep in it, right? So maybe that's not as valuable to you. Maybe a lot of your artifacts are already up there. I can see why Lost In doesn't see value in it. A lot of the stuff is stuff he probably already has. You know, so I can see that. I can see that perspective from an advanced G7 player, for sure. Yeah,
and
Shelby
a
says the
lot of
G7 primes are already bought. Well, then yeah, that eliminates that. Research is bought, officers bought, artifacts bought. Yeah, then yeah, you've already bought your way through it. So yeah, no, I can see that.
Mimi says I don't want to put on blinders to the useless parts of the loop. Like, I would just rather clearly people put effort into this, and I feel bad for the people who put effort into this and we're on this show saying this is useless. Like, I just want there to be more value, and I don't want to look at this loop and say in 200 days this will have this amount of value to me. And I don't need everything right now, but I do also want to be able to say I think this will have concrete value in 200 days. And knowing that they do add more things every month, I don't know if what I'm working for 200 days will end up paying off after that.
Super much love and respect, but we cannot say 200 days. You literally
I'm saying,
factually
well,
cannot.
you can if you're adding in the chaos tech or the forbidden tech or any of
we're
the
not.
other things that you're adding on to once you unlock the ship.
But you don't need any of that. The chaos tech is completely forgivable.
You don't want the artifacts that you can only unlock once you get the ship?
Okay, but you're not waiting that long. You're working on this stuff once you get the ship. You don't need a prototype forbidden tech for tier 1 through probably 6. All right? And it doesn't look like you need the chaos tech ever. Okay? Yeah, you can't say 200 days is fact, and you can start earning rewards in this thing upon unlock of the ship. We just did the math that showed free to play how to do it in 120 days. I think that's where you draw the line.
It's the motivation. I get that your math just showed that it's fewer days. You also have extra days on top of unlocking the ship in whatever number that you just came up with. It doesn't matter what number of days to unlock the ship. Say 100. You add in 30 to unlock level 1 of one of those artifacts. And do we even know if there's ops locks in the middle of those artifacts? And we have however many days. I think the issue with a lot of this is, do we think that when we get to 75 days or 110 days, that all of the things that we are putting this much time and this much effort at the expense of other things in this loop is going to be worth it?
Okay, what is the expense?
Everything else besides the sphere.
Like what? Be specific. What do you want to spend credits on?
The officers.
Do you get more credits by having a Borg Sphere?
I understand. I bought the ship.
I know,
I'm
but
trying to explain to you what other people are saying.
I hear you, but you're making the exact opposite point. Like you literally are saying that I bought the ship and I regret it.
I'm done.
No, I'm asking the question.
No, I'm not. It's not coming across. I'm not willing to put more time into this for myself.
Okay. All right. Well, this comes down to exactly why players
MJ,
are
just buy it. Stop saying this is why I want it. Just buy it. Like, you've made your decision for yourself. Good.
Okay. We'll leave that right there. Oh boy. All right. Yeah, that's what else? Yeah, here, let me. Yeah, we're done. All right. Oh, cool. I got cracked. Am I being rated? Nice. I've gotten scooped. See y'all distracting me. Put a pin in it, yo. Well, listen. Do what?
I said mission accomplished. We've distracted you.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Short says, hard pass for me. Ship is a pile of doo-doo. That's certainly your opinion to have. There you go. Can we talk about the cube now? Damn it! All right. Patriot says, doesn't the pack right now come with the prototype Forbidden Tech? It does. The unlock pack will come with the prototype Forbidden Tech. But in fairness, we were talking about grinding it out free to play. So when you do grind it out, you won't have the Forbidden Tech because then you'll have to grind it out later. But I still think that it's certainly not going to provide any value until probably tier 6 or 7 of the ship. So you'll have plenty of time to work on that. And that uses epic Maverick credits, not original. So there's not really any shortage of anything that you're going to need to spend epics on. You'll probably be able to pull all that stuff, most of it anyway, with the epic credits, because there's not a whole lot right now that the epic credits buy. Kin Shadow says, does the ship seem good for other loops once tiered up? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It is a very, very solid one-trick pony. It does nothing else. Nothing else. And that's another thing that I really hate. They were having such a good run with multifunction ships, and this one, being as iconic as it is, this one is probably one of the worst ships that they've released for outside of its own loop in 2 or 3 years. It's actually really, really bad out of its loop. Will it be good for PvP even with the refit? No. You're referring to, let me go and look at the damage refit that you're talking about. This is the red one, I believe. Is that what it was, Jules? Is red? No, let's see. That's Transwarp. Where is it? Sarco 2.0, they're calling it. Yeah, maybe. Where's the other one? Is it under ship abilities? I know that there was one that I saw.
The jump is an ability, isn't it?
I am completely missing it right now for some reason. No, I don't see it in abilities. I saw the jump one in skins.
So they both.
I'll make it easy for you. The refit allows you to beam somebody, and all that beam does is cause assimilate for the first 2 rounds of combat.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
And what's the cooldown?
Like 30 minutes.
5
That's
minutes?
dumb.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's bad
At
too.
tier 1, they all of these active abilities do change by tier.
Oh, okay. I thought we determined that it did not.
Oh. So what is it at max tier?
I thought, hang on a second. No, I thought that, oh crap, who was it? Lightbull, who does STFC Spock's Club.
Oh, yeah? Okay, well, I trust Lightbull.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lightbull said that that it was fixed. I'm pretty sure he said it was fixed. I will have to confirm that, but I'm 90% sure.
I trust Lightbull.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
fixed
he said
as in
that
repaired or fixed as in the same.
The cooldown was fixed.
To be as in fixed as in repaired to something, or fixed as in it stays the same every time and it's static.
Static. It's the same. Fixed, not repaired.
Okay.
So
30 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. I would have to go back and double check. I don't. Yeah, don't trust me. Okay, don't trust me.
No, I mean Lightbull actually sees all of these things,
yeah.
Even without having to unlock them, without having to collect player data. There is an incredibly reliable source.
Yeah,
where he's getting that information from, so I trust him completely.
Oh yeah, I mean he sees it. Caledon says, DJs, seems like there are skippable parts, and for the cost, both cash or time, it shouldn't feel skippable, which is what Tarpy was saying. If I was a designer of this loop, I would hate for people to think that. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that at all. I think that there are absolutely skippable pieces of this loop as far as the store goes. But I'm not willing to skip it all because there are things that I want. As a matter of fact, I like that. And I'll tell you why. It shortens the lifespan for me. It's like going through DTI or Section 31. When I'm done with what I want, I can be done. You know? And so that's why I think I don't mind. Like, when I'm done with the items that I want, then I'm done. And there are not as many items in this one, admittedly, at least now that we see, that I want. Like, I don't have 30 bundles that I've got to max. I've got like 6. And to me, that represents a shorter timeline. So I'm kind of cool with that. But, I mean, that's just me. So, you know, I guess it depends on your perspective there. I like not having a gazillion things to do, right? Riskbreaker says, yeah, you don't need to zero out a store. I totally agree. I don't want there to be 30 things that I got to do. So there's that. But anyway, that has been a crazy spirited conversation. And by the way, this is 1,000% what's happening all across the community. 1,000%. It's happening everywhere. It's not just here. It's not just me. Like, there are people on both sides of this aisle. The conversations are happening everywhere. And I like that we've been able to talk it out and look at some of the math and identify some of the pieces that are good or not good. Yeah, could Scopely have made a loop that made everybody feel great, that looked like Wrath of Khan or looked like DTI and like was high value to people? Probably. They should have, actually. Okay, there's a lot of things I'm critical about here. It's just not so critical that I won't participate at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna say that it's skippable. I just think that there are pieces of value that are different for other people, different for different people. Somebody's going to use this to pull amalgam parts. I bet. Right? Somebody's going to use this to pull amalgam parts. So Naz says it's all skippable. Well, if it is to you, you know what? I think Shelby kind of agreed with you, and so is Lost In. Depends on how much you already have.
Quit.
Wait, Naz?
Didn't you say you quit?
Naz did quit. It's all skippable because he uninstalled the game. All right. Retrieving says that's what Tarpy was saying. A loop should make players want to go grind it out, but this just says hold on and double check, and that's not a great first step. Okay. I could probably get behind that, but I think we have to double check everything. I don't think anything in this game should be blind adoption, Retrieving. I think that's what we do good. Well, that's what we do well. Grammar, not so good. Okay, but I think that's what we do well here is we actually do look at the cost-benefit ratio. Here's an example. We talked about this just the other day. Go to your ATA research store or research tree. How many of you guys have done Priority 1 Pure Pioneer Crest? We actually mathematically acknowledged that this research was not worth it. We did the entire rest of the tree, but mathematically skipped this one because it was bad. So I don't think anything should be blind adoption. You know, I think everything needs to be examined and looked at for efficiency and the right way to go through it. We had a really nice conversation, Jules and I, about what's better, dive bar 20 or dive bar 30. That matters. That piece matters. So, you know, you look at Bajoran loop, Revenant loop, Walk loop. Sure, the loops are no-brainers, but you still made choices inside those loops. What did you do first? What was the process? What did I use to convert into this credit, to convert into that credit, to get con skill points? I mean, all of that stuff was a process. I do feel like the end game of this loop is missing some of the high-value items that Wrath of Khan might have had or that DTI might have had. Sure, I can get behind that, but it's not completely inept. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's still some items in there. It's just not as broad as maybe what we're used to. And I think that was what Tarpy was saying, is that I think, and let me paraphrase if I'm saying this right, there's not enough in the store that is valuable to you for you to feel excited about engaging with this? There's only a couple of things to you, and that makes it meh. Is that a ballpark summary of what you were saying?
More or less, because I bought the ship to put money in where I won't necessarily have time over the next 45 to 60 days due to my job. So I upfronted the cash to, like, Riskbreaker will probably tear up his sphere before I do, just because he grinds everything out and is very consistent. But I paid to skip that. And I still don't necessarily, I don't like the time frame to get anything. So.
Okay.
So here's my.
Go ahead, Putz.
Here is my kind of like where I'm sitting is I'm looking at it going, where's the payoff? Where's the ultimate thing that I want to get to? I could do A, to do B, to do C, to do E, unlock the ship, do this, do that, do that. I don't see any benefit for the rest of my game necessarily after doing all of that. It's almost like this is very, very Stella-esque in the fact that you don't have to. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of benefit outside of the loop.
You know, for you, I would probably say that that's accurate until you're op 66 or 67, because even for me, a lot of the stuff that I've identified is, and Tarpy agreed, even that's a lot of G7 content, to be honest with you. You've got a couple of artifacts, you've got some research particles, you've got some efficiencies that are all pointed to G7. So maybe that's right. Maybe it is G7 prep for some of you guys, perhaps. And maybe, here's a crazy spin, maybe that's why you shouldn't feel so bad about letting it just grind out. If you're up 58 or up 61 or 63, just let it grind out, because your bigger payoff is going to come when you hit 71. So just grind it out, get what you can get, start banking the stuff. That way you're ready to start doing some of those researches at 71 and 72, and you'll start G7 with a prime or two. That may not be a bad thing, right? So maybe it's just future prep. Maybe you're prepping for G7 if you're putts. I don't know.
And I was going to say that I was going to argue against myself and say that, oh, well, you can't even start getting some of these artifacts and things until 71. But if it's for uncommon and rare, DJs, how much uncommon do you use at 71?
There's still a fair amount. Not as much, but there's still a lot.
Right. So to get to 72, you need exactly 0 G7 uncommon. And so that's my point. You have time going from 71 to wherever, 72, 73, to get those efficiencies before you get there.
I must have spent,
like, if you're looking at the research for common or if you're looking at the research for uncommon and rare, you have time, even if you can't get the particles for it until 71.
Yeah. And by the way, Shelby, I'm not trying to argue against Tarpy's point. I'm trying to bring validity to both arguments. I don't disagree with her if she doesn't find value. And that's what Putz was just saying. I'm reinforcing Putz as well. Maybe it is G7 prep. Maybe it is.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
Mimi, is you don't need the uncommon efficiency at 71, so you can earn it until you get to 72. So you can stay at 71 until you get those researches, perhaps, if you want.
Yeah, because you can start earning.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You can start earning the artifact or the prime stuff at 71, and then before you press up 72, you could have some efficiencies in place, is what it is.
Right.
So yeah.
And there's other ones too, but you know,
and
more is more.
MJ says G7 prep, I think, is a wonderful thing, and I don't disagree. Hell, I'm already in G7, and I'm still trying to prep. You know, so yeah, maybe that will actually help some players in the late G6 be a little bit more tuned up and a little bit ready. You know, maybe this is a future-proof kind of thing to make the pain of G7 not quite as bad for somebody who comes in 6 months later.
But
So-
it's it's the long grind with very little noticeable payoff. Like, we don't need everything right away, but there just doesn't feel like a lot of things that we can do, particularly this month, if you don't buy the ship.
Well, that's agreeable.
And
There's nothing.
yeah,
There's
right,
nothing for
right.
people who didn't buy the
So,
ship. That's actually true.
right. We don't need everything right away, but that's what I've been trying to say is there's not really any of those like middle points that makes the effort feel worth it, really. So like if you don't buy the ship, you have at least 3 months of not buying the ship before you can really do anything besides get the ship and building parts. And that feels weird. That's the part I've been trying to say. There's nothing in the middle that you really feel like you're getting to.
Well, yeah, but that's any ship that takes 100 days to unlock, isn't it?
But usually there's either more to it, but
Some ships we've had a tier 0 chest, a little trickle. Some ships we haven't. Some ships that didn't have the tier 0 trickle chest were more complicated and were doing and using stuff in a different way. I think what Tarpy is saying is that it's just it's feeling a little hollow. Like we're
could
not
do waves without the junker.
Yeah.
You can do the reliant loop without the reliant if you want to. And you can do the events this month without the sphere if you want to. But you can't do anything in that particular loop for 100 days. And yes, Risk Breaker, people have complained that there's too much stuff. And I get that too. But there's no middle points between 0 and 100 days.
Well, when a refinery would open up with a ship, I mean, there wouldn't be a refinery that is available during the middle. Like the refinery opens up when you have the ship, right? I would think. I mean, that
For
wouldn't
most
give
ships, yeah.
Yeah.
You get none of the things in the faction store that have the little sphere next to it. You get none of that without the ship. That's the easy way to see what you get versus what you don't get. Because, okay, retrieving is like you could do the different transigen refineries without the squall.
But not epic. And you couldn't
Right,
without,
because that was
that was the ship hook, right? Transigen came before the squall, and then epic came with the transigen. That came later. No, it came in the squall. Epic came with the squall. So you until you unlocked the squall, which was 100 days, you didn't get anything epic, right? I mean, you could do other stuff, but I guess that would be the same, right? That's actually the point for you can still do the stuff with the original Maverick credits this month, but you're not going to get the epic Maverick credits until you unlock the ship. That would be the kind of exactly the same thing as you did with the squall. Either way, obviously, players feel really strongly about the value in the store. I think, I mean, we're 3 hours in, and the conversation has summarized exactly that. The value is seriously lacking for some players. And I'm not going to even fight against the fact that the value is lacking for me in broad terms, but there are enough narrow items, like there are enough items that are pertinent to me to make it worth it to me. But yeah, I mean, obviously this is an issue, and Scopely is going to have to recognize that. And it's not like they haven't done adjustments on this type of stuff before. If you guys remember the Revenant, they had to come out and make adjustments to it. They made adjustments to, God, was it the Squall? I don't think it was the Squall. The Junker Refinery. Remember the Junker Refinery came out in week 2, and they amped up the parts payouts by like 2 times or 2.5 times in week 2. Listen, this is a message that Scopely's going to have to hear. Yeah, they adjusted the Revenant. I thought I just said that. The Revenant, the Junker, I know that they did. DTI, I think, was another that was Reliant. Not Reliant. Help me with the future ship. Reliability. That's not it. That guy.
Relativity.
Thank you. That refinery got adjusted as well. So this is something that Scopely needs to hear. All right. Period, plain and simple. If players are feeling it, then they need to hear it. I think that there are going to be some players that are okay with the value, but obviously there's a lot of players that aren't okay with that. And if they want adoption, if they want the general sentiment to be improved upon, then they're going to have to improve the value to make that work. Shiz says, you said they adjusted the Revenant, but I think they said after the holidays and didn't change it. You know what? I think you're right. You're right. They didn't change that refinery, did they? They were going to do it, and they never did. Yeah, no, you're right. I remember that. I remember that now. Did I just say cube again? Son of a bitch. All right.
No, I was talking about Broken Wolf, who said there's too many R-named ships. So we have the Reliant, the Relativity, the Revenant, the Rube, and the Rear.
Love it.
And the Vengeance. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And the Vengeance.
Yeah.
And the Retrieving. Yes.
and the Retrieving. All right. Well, there you go. I mean, that is top to bottom, A to Z on this Borg Sphere and the store and everything here at the beginning of this arc. Are we going to need adjustments? Are there going to need to be things that Scopely's going to have to take a look at? Sounds like it. Sounds like it. All right. Maybe not for everybody. Some of us bought it. But it sounds like, yeah, I Kill You says yes and yes. Sounds like there's going to have to be a little bit of a peak. Nerwell says it just looked cool, so I bought it. That's what this game needs to be. That's what this game needs to be, is just cosmetics. Everything's cosmetic. Do that. Just give me all the cosmetics. And you know what? I'll tell you this. Funny that you mentioned, Nerwell, that it looks cool, so you bought it. I actually am really unhappy with how it looks. I have never seen a yellow cube or a yellow sphere in all of Star Trek history. I'm pissed that it's yellow, to be honest with you. It should be green. Why is it yellow?
Because it's parallel dimension universe.
Don't care. Did I just say cube? Why is it? Why? Oh, Jules sounds lit. Why is it yellow? I don't like it.
Because why would you have it?
You're not hydrated enough.
Yeah.
Okay, narratively, why would you be flying the ship? Are you Borg?
Listen, Borg is just green all the time. Look at
But
Picard.
it's not Borg anymore if you're flying it.
Picard season 1, that wasn't a Borg cube anymore, but it was still green. Okay? It was liberated, still green.
Lizard.
Still green. Okay?
Lizard.
And it looks cool, like if it was green. Okay.
Well, good. You can unlock the assimilate refit at tier 5. And it'll be green.
Will it turn green?
Yeah.
Thank God.
There's a green refit.
I might spend
There's a purple refit. There's a green refit.
I might spend just to get the refit that I want. I'm going to spend on the assimilate refit. Just so I can.
You don't have to. It's free.
No, I got to spend to get.
You know what? You should
right
buy
now.
that. You should absolutely buy that.
I need to get it to tier 5 right now because I hate yellow. I need it to be green.
This reminds me.
Good night, Mimi. We have reached the end of useful content. As a matter of fact, we should probably end the show. Potts, go ahead. Final thoughts.
This reminds me when Ripper bought the skin for the disco and never used the ship. He just wanted it. He wanted it to look cool, right? Yeah. So just little nostalgia there. That's all.
I mean, technically, you could make the argument, Killer Cujo, that I am buying the upgrade pack for the cosmetic to make it green. And if I just happen to get tier 5 out of it, then so be it. Like, how many packs to get to tier 5, Jules? $200? It's a $200 cosmetic. Maybe I should just do it. Because I hate that it's yellow. I hate it. Should be green.
Are you a member of
I think it may be $300.
300? I'm already tier 3, and it's going to be 300 to get to 5.
Toby says 4.
400 to get to tier 5? $400 to do 2 tiers? It's bullcrap.
Well, if you buy the ship.
Oh, Oh, well, I've already
So
got
$300 for you.
Okay, no, I've already got $200 in it. So I only got to spend $200 more? Hold on, I got a button for that. Where's my button? Here it is. Where's my button? Oh, I thought I had a button for it. Didn't I make a button before the beginning of this show?
I think that's Griffin's button.
No, I made my own button.
DJ's
Where
can't
is it?
find Griffin's button.
No, shut up. I found the button. Where's the button? I made a button. Tarpy, don't you remember we made a button?
I found the button. Where's the button?
Too
Lies.
small?
No, I found it. It's right here. It's right here. I'm obviously going
Just
to have
try
to
and
make it louder.
wiggle it a bit.
I'm going to have
It's
to make
fine.
it louder. I got my own cash register sound now. I'm just going to have to make it louder. Where is it? Cha-ching. Make it loud. Make it loud. Move this. Make it quieter. Go right there. Okay. Right here. Got it. Ha-ha! Got it. All right. No, I'm not a good button finder. Okay, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you for being a part of our podcast. Thank you for being a part of our live studio audience. Ari says, what was the last specialty ship that we enjoyed? Let's blast that across the panel very quickly. Tarpy, last specialty ship that you enjoyed. Go.
Revenant.
Revenant? Really? Okay. Karkin, last specialty ship you enjoyed. Sorry, what?
Doesn't like the Junker. Junker.
There you go. Butts. What?
Junker.
Junker. There you go. Matters.
Probably the Reliant.
Reliant. Okay. Jules Verne.
I forgot the question.
Your
I just want cookies.
he wants the USS Cookie. I gotta be honest, I kind of like the Dauntless, if I'm just being completely honest with you. Man, that has saved me so much time. So much time. As a matter of fact, I was gonna show you guys this earlier, and then I forgot, and now I'm gonna run out of time at the end of the show here. But I was gonna point out that I have done no manual grinding for my Alliance task. I've spent the Dauntless for all of the aggregation, and I think I'm like second or third place in my Alliance right now. I've done it all with, yeah, here it is. I've done it all with my Dauntless, 100%. I'm second place with 3,000 points, and I've done it all with Dauntless. Dauntless in Mirror, Dauntless in this grind event, Dauntless in any kind of grind event. I love it. Huh?
Slacker. You could be first.
I could be.
You are slacking, clearly.
I'll get there eventually because of my Dauntless, because I hate grinding. Okay, so I kind of like the Dauntless. All right, guys, we're going to go right there. Thank you. Appreciate you guys all for being here. Thank you for being a part of our live studio audience. Visit our website at TalkingTrekSTFC.com. That's TalkingTrekSTFC.com. Find links over to the merch store, our Patreon. Find yourself some free Studio B. Some great mixes over there. You should go check that out. They're absolutely free. All you got to do is create a free membership, pay nothing, and check out our Studio B replays over on Patreon. Appreciate that very much. And you can find links to some of our other goofy stuff, like the Instagram I just created, but haven't actually posted anything to. I'll work on that. And I just appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much. Again, super huge shout out to Lost in 73. Record-breaking 30-hour stream in STFC. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you and all your support. You mean a lot to all of us, buddy. Thank you so very much. To Trash Keeper, oh, that's trash. My name is UltimatDJz. Thank you for listening to Talking Trek Live, a registered trademark and recorded in front of a live studio audience for distribution across podcast platforms everywhere. I'm DJ, your friendly neighborhood cat person. Saying me out for now. Love a minute. Catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody.